ride hot hands that exist.
Sure. I guess I agree with that, but we'll ultimately see how it plays out. Hopefully that's the case.
So
I
would
hope
not
you
be
mow down your first 6.
Yeah, well, I would not be shocked.
Been the case this series.
I would not be shocked if, you're going to have to get some length out of someone.
So, let's just break it down because McGill's going to open the game.
Yeah.
Then you likely go to Quintana. You go from a righty to a lefty.
I have no idea. Honestly, I have no idea.
I don't either, but that's why I'm trying to work through it.
But it's almost a fool's errand.
Yeah, that's
because
fair.
It could be Ashby. It depends upon where you're at in the lineup, too.
Could be Mizorowski right out the gate. It could be Priester.
If McGill goes it depends upon the lineup the Craig Counsell puts out there. That is the determining factor number one. What lineup does Craig put out there? Mm-hmm. If it's the lineup that he's put up against the righty, then you could see the lefty right away. If one of those guys gets on against McGill and he only faces 4 in the first inning, so who's coming up next?
We do have a Cubs lineup.
Okay, and I'm guessing it's going to be very similar to what we saw in games 1, 3, and 4.
I think it's pretty much the
Bush,
exact same.
Nico Horner, Kyle Tucker, Seiya Suzuki, Ian Happ.
Correct.
Who's been batting 6 for them? Was it Carson Kelly?
Correct.
PCA.
Yep.
And
you got 2 left.
Then you've got Shaw bats 9th and Swanson bats 8th. It's the lineup that he's been running out. That's not.
Yeah, but off the top of the dome, it's pretty impressive. I don't care.
I don't know. I've been paying attention.
Well, yeah, sure. Sure. How many people could rattle that off the top?
I hope a lot more.
Okay, never mind. Sorry for giving you credit. That's on me.
But again, so it depends upon where you're at in the lineup. If McGill goes 1, 2, 3, and now you've got Seiya, and Happ. Happ is a switch hitter, right? So you've got maybe you go to a righty in that situation. Or maybe you want Happ batting from the right side because PCA is coming up and you're going, okay, Aaron Ashby, you got these next 4. Mm-hmm. You're going to have these next 4 guys. So a lot of it depends on that lineup now that we know exists out there for Craig Counsell. And it kind of depends upon where they're at when McGill gets that 3rd out in inning number 1, which is hopefully quick. Because, man, if they score in the first inning again...
Yeah, go 5 for 5 in that category.
I can't tell you the elation I would feel for a clean first inning.
I agree.
If McGill, seriously though, Joshy, if McGill goes out there and this plays out the way that you hope it does, and he is Trevor McGill, all-star closer, clean inning, 1, 2, 3, couple of strikeouts, maybe a weak pop-up or a weak ground ball, AmFam is going to be up for grabs. If they go 1, 2, 3 in the first inning, that crowd is going to be rocking for the bottom of the first inning because it hasn't just been they've scored runs; they've hit a home run in every bleeping first inning. That's what I. And again, if McGill is able to do what he's supposed to do, I think everybody's going to settle in and start feeling really good about the Brewers' opportunity and chances.
If he's able to do what Pat Murphy single-handedly selected him to do. Mm-hmm. The reason I went McGill was the same reason I thought he went Freddie in Game 4. You trust your guys.
Yes.
These are the guys. The guys you've trusted the most throughout the course of the year. We're not going to let just what we saw happen to 1 game ago. This is a guy who you put all the faith in throughout the course of the season until he got hurt. So now you trust him to go get you 3 outs.
And the beautiful part is their bullpen is so deep. A, they were able to absorb McGill being gone for a month. And B, it doesn't hurt you to throw McGill in the first inning because you still have plenty of horses in the back part. Because especially in playoff baseball games, the last 3 outs number 25, 26, and 27 of the game can be incredibly difficult to get. Mm-hmm. But you still have guys... Again, whether you want to go to Koenig, whether you want to go to Abner Uribe, chances are it's going to be Abner, but they've flipped it around depending upon where you're at in the lineup, and you have those options still at the back end of the bullpen because this is how good this bullpen has been. And McGill has been, to Joshy's point, one of your guys. So go out there. Hey, we've been having trouble getting out of this first inning. The first inning has been incredibly high leverage for us. So go get your 3 outs, Trevor. Go get your 3 outs. Are they going to do the full McGill entrance?
They should.
I know he's. I mean, honestly, I think they should, because usually the starter comes out of the bullpen.
Yeah.
Or comes out of the dugout.
And they will, yeah. Well, true. No, send his ass out of the bullpen.
Send his ass out of the bullpen is what I'm
Absolutely.
saying. Usually the starter's coming out of the dugout. Hey, do your thing out in the bullpen and come in, get the lights going, get the crowd fired up. Do the whole McGill entrance the way you would if he's closing out a game in the 9th inning.
Love that idea. Just a quick derailment. We now have a Brewers lineup. It is the same lineup as games 1 and 2. So Chourio is back to that leadoff spot. Terang batting second. Contreras third, Yelich fourth, Vaughn fifth, and then 6, 7, 8, 9 goes as followed. Sal Frelick, Caleb Durbin, Blake Perkins, Joey Ortiz, your lineup tonight.
And that's
the fighting Pat Murphys.
Not that you're expecting any sort of length out of Drew Pomeranz tonight for the Cubs.
No,
but
it's very likely you could see 6 or 7 pitchers from both of these teams tonight.
I would say that would be the expectation.
Yes.
More likely than not.
Yeah.
Yes, I would agree.
Because the Cubs are in the same situation where they just don't have anyone they trust with length. And even if Shota ends up going in this game, he's not going to go more than 3 innings.
It's sounding like they don't want to throw him tonight because he's been...
Yeah, he hasn't been good.
I think he's had... I heard Dom Cotroneo say this. I think he's had as many home runs hit off him in the second half of baseball as anybody in the league.
Yeah.
So... why would you want him at that high leverage spot?
But that's the problem.
You need arms.
You need length out of someone at some point. Because even if you're going 6 pitchers, right? Like at some point, someone's going to have to get more than 3 outs. You're going to have to get some sort of length out of somebody. And once you start asking some of these relievers, who a lot of them are used to going 3 outs, maybe 4, you start asking for outs 5 and 6. And you're starting to stretch them out a little bit more than they're comfortable with.
Well, and God forbid you end up in a situation like we saw last night. I don't know if I can handle that as a fan.
I mean, how late did you stay up for the whole thing?
Yeah, I stayed up.
The Mariners fans did not sit down, I don't think.
No, after
in extra innings.
Yeah.
In extra innings, they were standing
after the 7th. I don't think they sat down.
I think they were standing for the entire time, for the entire thing. Maybe they sat down between innings when TBS went to commercial, but every time I saw them on television, everybody was standing.
Seriously, I don't know how you handle that as a fan. I was biting my fingernails, and I didn't have a horse in that race.
I mean, not that I condone this, but how do you handle that without alcohol?
Right.
It's cut off in the 7th inning.
Right, booze sales are over. You played another baseball game after booze sales ended.
As somebody who was at the game in 2011, the classic T-Plush walk-off.
Yeah.
You just don't sit, and you have so much adrenaline and excitement going through your body. I mean, I was in the bleachers, which is a little more conducive to the stand. Everyone's on the bleachers. Yeah, you're just at a 10 for 2 hours.
Right, unbelievable.
That's just what it is.
And that in 2011, that's pre-pitch clock. Like I was watching this game last night, going, man, and it ends past midnight Central Time. Like there would be Red Sox Yankees games from 2000 that would go that long, and they'd be only in the 7th or 8th. Right, the pitch clock just kind of helps. I think helps with the nerves because it kind of moves things along. I am curious to see how much standing is happening at AmFam Field today.
Yeah.
What the nervous injury is going to be.
I don't want any old people tugging on the back of your sweatshirt saying, hey, would you mind sitting down? No, get your ass up or go watch it on the couch. That would be my response. I'm
guessing they're going to be sitting down. They're not going to be standing for all 9 innings. I promise you that.
What if I want that, Gabe? What if that's what I want?
You got to go. You got to follow what the crowd wants.
Give me what I want.
No, you don't get to determine. Like if everybody's standing, then yeah. If you're the lone jackwagon in the section standing, you're going to have to sit down.
Okay, fine.
Don't
be the lone jackwagon standing. That would be my advice.
Yeah.
Make sure you bring a buddy.
Big situations.
Bring a buddy to stand with you.
Big situations, feel free. Again, late in the game, feel free. But in the middle of the third, I don't think the entire crowd is going to be standing.
For the show.
If I were to expect any one of us 3 to be the lone jackwagon,
it would be Strouf.
Yeah.
Will the lone jackwagon please stand up? Yes, I will. Yeah.
It's good.
Where are your nerves at? You didn't answer that question.
I mean, it's game 5, man. It's an elimination game. And yeah, I don't want my heart to be broken. I don't, but it's part of the territory.
Only one team wins.
It's part of the territory. If you want to experience the euphoria of winning game 5, like Joshy did back in 2011, which, by the way, is worth noting, that team also won the first 2 games at home, went to Arizona, lost 2 relatively uncompetitive games, if I recall correctly, in Arizona before returning home and then walking it off against the Arizona Diamondbacks to go to the NLCS for the first time in franchise history.
Worth noting.
So Look, I know there's a lot of people that are worried after the way things, especially the way things went down in Game 4, and you get shut out and you lose 6-0. It's all out the window, man. This is Game 5.
Mm-hmm.
It's Game 5. You're back at home. You had the off day in between. You've got plenty of things. But again, everything's just kind of left behind. The team has left it behind. I assure you. The players that are on the field today, they've left Game 4 behind them. I implore you as a fan to leave it behind as well. But is getting off to a fast start, is that going to be important for the Brewers? We dive into that coming up next, part of our Brewers specialty programming here on 94.5 ESPN and 620 WTMJ.
More Specialty Brewers Saturday coming up next on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
I had nightmares at my birth mom's house. It was really scary living there. There were always drugs in the house. The police came, and that's when I was placed into foster care.
Right now in the U.S., more than 100,000 children, like Ariana, are waiting for a family.
Once I was adopted, I definitely felt safe.
Help the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption find permanent homes for children in foster care. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
Neck and back surgeries can be risky. Your spine deserves the best. That's why professional athletes choose Neurospine Center of Wisconsin. We can help you too. With the top nationally rated spine surgeons in the state for quality outcomes, you can trust the professionals at Neurospine Center of Wisconsin. Get a second opinion in just a few clicks. Now offered virtually throughout Wisconsin. Visit nscwi.com. Whether you want to get back into the game or just get back to life, go where the pros go. Neurospine Center of Wisconsin. Your spine health is our passion.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week on the pod, Marcus and Chris go inside Bucks training camp. Find Here District now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 5 and 20%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. Visit amfam.com to learn more. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
The annual Catholic Memorial High School open house is Sunday, October 12th. Become part of the CMH tradition and make plans now to attend from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on October 12th. Register at catholicmemorial.net. Awarded for academic excellence, a rich tradition of athletic success, and an experience rooted in faith. Find out how your student can achieve more at CMH. Tour the school, meet the faculty and coaches, learn all about the opportunities available for your student. Register today at catholicmemorial.net. Catholic Memorial High School, where you rise.
Wisconsin sports fans, Brian Balaga here from my friends at Surfside. Football season is back, and we're bringing you your tailgate must-have. There's nothing more refreshing than an ice-cold Surfside to enjoy while you cheer on your home team. Made with real vodka and real brewed tea, Surfside is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles. That's right, no carbonation, so it's easy to sip and enjoy. It's not a seltzer, it's Surfside. Ask for it at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
Your neighbors are talking. Did you see their siding? Yikes. That drafty window? It's basically air conditioning. From nature. Don't be the scary house on the block this fall. Call Exterior Pros and Baths and get $3,000 off your roofing, siding, windows, or bath project. No tricks, just treats. That's 262-800-4274 or click your way to extpros.com. Fall in love with your home again. Trust the pros.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
This is Specialty Brewers Saturday on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
We settled on McGill. He's going to pitch tonight regardless. And, the power of friendship. He started it all, so we thought it would be a good way to start.
Brewers manager Pat Murphy on the decision to go with Trevor McGill out of the chute in tonight's game. He is the opener for the Brewers, giving his reasoning. The power of friendship going to be on display in the first inning. Gabe Neitzel, Strouf, Josh DiMaggio with you as we take you up until 6:30 when coverage of Brewers baseball begins here on ESPN Milwaukee and 620 WTMJ.
I absolutely love that, man. What amazing reasoning. And obviously there's philosophical baseball reasoning behind that, but he didn't give you that. He gave you what better way to start it? He's the guy who created the power of friendship.
I do think that sort of matters, though. Like, as like a spiritual leader and a guy who's kind of been one of the forces throughout the season. It's more than just, hey, he's really damn good and we trust him to get 3 outs. He's kind of been a driving force behind what we've done all season.
Behind this magic.
Well, again, the power of friendship, he says so much in that just little phrase, right? And Joshy, I think, just broke it down perfectly of there's more to it than just, oh, yeah, the power of friendship. No, there's a reason the power of friendship has been a thing for this team and why it has worked. And if this guy is the spiritual forefather of that for the 2025 Milwaukee Brewers, why not go with him? Mm-hmm. If he was going to be pitching anyway, again, it comes back to what are your high leverage points? The first inning's been a high leverage point for this Milwaukee Brewers team. They haven't been able to avoid and get off to a clean first inning. Traffic's been there, and they've struggled to throw strikes at times. So why not have somebody go out there who you have faith is going to be able to go out there, command the strike zone, pound strikes, get your 3 outs, and move on, and get to the bottom of the first?
Sound reasoning to me. It's as simple as that.
So how imperative is it for the Brewers to get off a fast start? Not just with McGill on the mound, but then offensively as well to try to settle into this game. And they've gotten off to fast starts at AmFam Field in games 1 and 2. And I think that helped them big time settle in, bounce back from the home run that Freddie gave up, bounce back from the 3-run homer that Ashby gave up. The offense being hot right away kind of helped them out.
Yeah, I definitely think it's important, but it was important in those games for the reasons you just laid out. It was a response rather than you're on the offense, right? You're almost on the defense in those first 2 games. Now, obviously, ultimately, it led you to victories. It's important, but obviously it's important to get hits, which they were unable to do at Wrigley Field on Thursday night. They had 3 hits. You need to put the bat on the ball and get it out of the infield. A lot of ground balls, games 3 and 4. You need to get the ball out of the infield. So is it important for them to fast start? Of course it is. But if they don't score a run in the first inning, that's okay. Because I do have belief that this team will play a full 27 outs, and eventually they're going to get runs on the board that eventually leads them to win. Yeah. That's where it's at, right? Because to your point, in games 1 and 2, home run in the first inning. And games 3 and 4, home run in the first inning by Chicago. If that happens again tonight, then it's a little bit more important to get out to a fast start. If McGill comes out and does what we think he can do, then okay. Obviously, it'd be nice. Anytime you can get runs on the board is nice. But I don't know. You just need to be better than you were on Thursday because 3 hits I don't think will cut it tonight.
It's amazing how much 1-0 on the scoreboard, I think, can propel things in at any given moment. Because in those situations where the Brewers were able to answer, and in game 1, even though they scored 6 runs in the first, it's so early. It's like, okay, Freddie's got to go out there and settle in. And he did. Mm-hmm. And he put up a 0 in inning 2, and then the Brewers were able to add to that lead in the bottom of the second. But even if the Brewers don't score anything, just having that 0 on the board to start for the first time all series, I think could carry them a very long way in terms of the confidence. In baseball, it's always about, and honestly, even if the Brewers were able to score 1 run in games 3 or 4 after they fall down, like that does a lot for you as well. Like, hey, we're going to chip away and we're going to put the pressure on right back on you here eventually. The Brewers did chip away, obviously could not come all the way back in game number 3, and as you mentioned, with just the 3 hits in game 4, that didn't help out, and they weren't really able to put pressure on. The only time they had opportunities, second and third, 1 out, Yelich strikes out, Chourio pops out on the first pitch that he sees from Valencia, and that was really the last time the Brewers put together any sort of really serious threat. But being able to put up a 0, I think, is going to carry this team a long way. I think it's not even a fast start offensively, because it's going to be hard to get in any sort of offensive rhythm when it's a bullpen game. And you're facing somebody like Drew Pomeranz, who hasn't allowed a batter to reach in 22 consecutive batters, I believe, is what he's retired, going back to the regular season. And that's what you're facing. It's not, oh, hey, the starter's settling in. We've seen him. Now, you've seen all these guys throughout the course of this week. You played 9 games in the regular season. So chances are you've seen a lot of these guys anyway. But I think if the Brewers, again, it's a fast start for the pitching staff. Go out there, put up a 0 in that top of the first, and then let's see what happens. It just feels like they've been putting themselves so consistently behind the 8 ball that, hey, let's see what happens when we don't do that.
Yeah,
let's get
nice.
off. So when I say fast start, yes, it'd be great for the offense to get off a fast start and match what they did in games 1 and 2. But I'm looking at a fast start of, hey, this bullpen. We're going to a bullpen game, and this bullpen has been so good. All right, Trevor, starts with you. Whoever's next in line, then it follows with you. And it's truly going to be a team baseball game where it's not, hey, this guy threw a gem for you. Pedro went out there and threw 8 shutout innings, leading whatever team to a win, right? Or, I mean, hell, even what we saw last night, and it's going to ultimately be forgotten. But Tarek Skubal and George Kirby were fantastic in that game last night to start. That's not what this game is going to be.
No.
It's going to be an entire team coming together as a pitching staff and trying to shut down an offense. On both sides, by the way.
Yeah, it goes both ways tonight. Yeah, both of these teams in similar situations. And like we alluded to last segment, I mean, this is going to be a 6-7 pitcher outing for both of these teams, more than likely. I don't know if I said it at the beginning of the show, you seem to disagree. I don't know if we see anybody go more than 2 innings. I mean, ultimately, it's going to depend on how you're throwing and comfortability. But, you know, could Miz have another 3-inning outing like he did in game 2? Maybe. And hopefully he's got
Quintana could have 3 innings again. I think it's very limited, the guys who can go. It's guys that are stretched out and typically are those starters.
And again, I know you called it a fool's errand, but I'm a fool and I will happily do the errand. Do you think there's an opportunity that we see Quinn Priester tonight?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think there's an opportunity we see Freddie Peralta
I was just
tonight.
about to say that.
Like, literally the only person...
He did it in Game 3 against the Mets last year. He pitched in it.
The only person I would be surprised if we saw tonight is Robert Gasser.
Yep, I agree with that.
That is the only pitcher I would be surprised to see be trot out there by Pat Murphy and the Brewers. I think
I'm trying to think of anybody else.
The other 11 pitchers, it is all hands on deck.
It really is.
It is all hands on deck. Dominic Cotroneo, he is live. He is at the ballpark, and he joins us next. But I want to let you know, professional athletes trust Neurospine Center of Wisconsin. You can too. From cutting-edge biologic injections to the least invasive surgeries, get a virtual second opinion available throughout Wisconsin. Visit nscwi.com. Neurospine Center of Wisconsin. Your spine health is their passion.
More Specialty Brewers Saturday coming up next on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
For your fellow fanatics and your number 1 fans. For your game day compatriots and your everyday companions. For your personal cheerleaders and your personal heroes. For the reasons you smile, get covered with dental and vision insurance from Delta Dental of Wisconsin and Delta Vision. Learn more at deltadentalwi.com today.
Milwaukee College Prep, redefining what's educationally possible so more children can pursue their dream. Join me, Craig Karmazin, in Milwaukee College Prep Thursday, October 23rd at Venue 3 at the 3rd Street Market Hall, and take a stand in closing the opportunity gap for Milwaukee scholars. Your support means quality education is accessible to over 2,000 scholars in Milwaukee. Enjoy food, drinks, and a chance to learn more.
Purchase tickets at 2025. TakeAstand.GiveSmart.com. That's 2025. TakeAstand.GiveSmart.com.
For over 40 years, the Boucher Automotive Group is proud to have served Wisconsin with dedication and heart, one customer at a time. But we knew we could do even more.
In the last 5 years, we've expanded across the state, adding new locations, new brands, and new ways to better serve you.
At Boucher, growth isn't always about being bigger. It's about being better. Better selection, better service, better experiences.
Where you're going matters, and Boucher is driven to get you there. The Boucher Automotive Group. We ride with you every mile.
At Tony Wendorf & Associates First Weber Group, we believe in the human side of real estate. For us, it's faith, family, and friends in that order. We live that every single day. I'm Tony Wendorf. We move fast, negotiate with confidence, and communicate clearly so our clients win. We operate from a place of gratitude, having donated nearly $200,000 back to our community since 2020. You deserve a team that delivers a luxury experience no matter the price point. Contact us today to get started. Tony Wendorf & Associates, trusted knowledge, superior service. Contact us at wendorfteam.firstweber.com.
When it comes to joint replacement, you want the best care available. The Orthopedic Surgery Center in Pewaukee is a leader in joint replacement, offering same-day surgery with advanced technology. Their team of experts specializes in knee, hip, and shoulder replacements, using the latest techniques to minimize pain and recovery time. By choosing them, you're choosing a center focused on providing specialized care tailored to your needs. The team at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin can get you back to what matters, living pain-free.
And their prices are more affordable than urgent care or the ER. And they'll send a full report to your primary care doctor. Why wait at the ER? Walk in to Ortho ASAP for faster, more affordable care.
Total joint replacement. There is a difference. Visit orthowisconsin.com. That's orthowisconsin.com.
Big Ten football returns to Madison this fall. The Wisconsin Badgers battle Iowa, Ohio State, Washington, and others to defend Camp Randall this season. From the grind of every snap to the roar of jump around, Badgers leave it all on the field. Be a part of all the tradition Wisconsin football has to offer. Single game tickets are available now at uwbadgers.com or by calling 1-800-GO-BADGERS. Together, we're Wisconsin like that.
The annual Catholic Memorial High School open house is Sunday, October 12th. Become part of the CMH tradition and make plans now to attend from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on October 12th. Register at catholicmemorial.net. Awarded for academic excellence, a rich tradition of athletic success, and an experience rooted in faith. Find out how your student can achieve more at CMH. Tour the school, meet the faculty and coaches, learn all about the opportunities available for your student. Register today at catholicmemorial.net. Catholic Memorial High School, where you rise.
This is Specialty Brewers Saturday on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Mention it again today, just a little piece of, hey, remember those feelings and remember that awareness that you got to have. You got to get all the outs, whether it's 27 or you saw in the game last night, 48, whatever it was. Yeah.
Pat Murphy before the game tonight. Game 5, Brewers-Cubs. A trip to the NLCS on the line for the Brewers. Their first trip to the NLCS since 2018. Joining us now, he's very formal, so I feel like I have to call him by his full name. I was going to call him Dom, but it's Dominic.
We're going government names?
Yeah,
I don't like this.
Don't show up with a suit and tie, man.
Don't wear a suit. This is the big leagues. This is the big leagues. Don't give me that.
Yeah, I've seen plenty of guys on the big leagues just have don't have the jacket. Maybe you just have the shirt, sleeves rolled up a little bit. You can still.
But my last name ends in a vowel. My last name ends in a vowel. I gotta wear a tie.
That's okay. You know what? That's I can't argue with that. Dominic Cotroneo, host of Brewers Extra Innings, joining us here, and. Dom, I feel like Murph is just pulling all the right strings right now, whether it was the press conference he talked yesterday, talking now, and the fact that, hey, McGill started the power of friendship. Seems fitting that he goes out there first today. It seems like he's pulling all the right strings right now.
Well, I mean, he can pull all the strings, right? And we've talked about this for the last 2 years. What a great hire, what a great fit, the right guy at the right time for the right team. He's not the one playing the strings. He's pulling the strings, but he's not playing the strings. The guys on the field, he's used the analogy all his entire career. Coaches are like linemen. They just open the hole. The team, the players, they're the running back. They're the ones that go through. So he's tried to set them up for as much success as possible. I caught up with Chris Hook briefly and just kind of looked at him and said, McGill. And he looked at me with this calm, smart smile like, yep, McGill. Just like, yeah. They knew this for a while, and I think that McGill knew this for a while. The big question I did not get answered yet was, is he going to come out of the bullpen, or is he going to come from the dugout?
I am pushing for, Dom, what I am pushing for is for him to come out and they do the entire Trevor McGill entrance, like he's closing a game. The lights are blinking, they go out, you get the little heartbeat monitor going, and you have McGill come out of the bullpen like it's the ninth inning, but it's the first inning to get everybody as fired up as possible to get the first 3 outs of a game.
Yeah, I think that's the right way to do it. I think you set the tone right off the bat. And regardless of what happens in that first inning, it's meant to be, you're here to win, you're here to do your thing, you're here to make sure that you are hosting on Monday against the Dodgers and have that rematch ability coming up next week. So the way I see it, McGill and then everybody. I heard you guys talking about it a little bit earlier, too, of just like, could you be surprised if Robert Gasser comes into the game, if anybody else comes into the game? Quite frankly, we should expect nothing after what we saw yesterday with Mariners-Tigers. Everything is on the table. And mind you, I know you guys have talked about this, but like I'll reiterate it to the fans. Like 2011 was an extra inning game, and it was a very well-pitched game. Offense is going to be at a premium tonight.
I heard you reference in the video that's on ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, your podcast from last night. Real quick, so it was about a 25-minute episode. You started recording in the 12th inning of that game last night. Was that game still going when you finished recording?
It was still going when I finished recording. Yeah, okay. I went down. I could hear the roars of like one of the double plays from Adam and me, and I referenced it in the middle of the show. And then I came back out, and I came back out, and it's top of the 15th inning. I couldn't believe it.
Lineup: Pat Murphy going back to the game 1 and 2 lineup rather than the 3 and 4 lineup. Jackson Chourio back to the leadoff spot. Feels like the right decision.
I think part of this has to do with the understanding on the other side that, you know, there's levers to this. So if even with Pomeranz starting, I think Pomeranz would have started regardless if Chourio's leading off, that sort of thing. But knowing that one of the bulk guys they have is Shota, and knowing that, you know, their bulk righties, Savali, Brown, even Colin Ray, it's like you don't want them to face Chourio more than they have to. So you set the tone instantly. I had a great conversation with Nestor Corridor a little bit ago just about Jackson and after last season to this season and, you know, what we've learned about him and how his leg is doing as well. But the big thing that he reminded me is that him and William Contreras live for these games. And it's like, it's sometimes we can say that about an athlete, right? We go, oh, yeah, he wants this. No. Some guys don't actually want the ball in those spots. I guarantee you, Contreras, Chourio, they're about it. They turn it on. Something clicks when they get October into their veins. Williams been there, done that. He's trying to lead the rest of this team with him.
Well, I mean, I don't think anybody can dispute that. In the very short postseason career of Jackson Chourio, how quickly he's climbing
Phenomenal.
up. Like,
Every record,
team's records, right? Like he's got the second most home runs in franchise history in the postseason. He's already, you know, hitting the list in terms of RBI that people have in Brewers postseason history. So I don't think that can be disputed when it comes to Jackson Chourio. But despite the success that Christian Yelich has had, and he's had a good postseason. The last time he was able to play, a couple of years ago, he had a decent enough postseason. I was very shocked to see, Dom, that he hasn't had a postseason RBI since 2018, which was shocking to see.
The leadoff home run in Game 7, that was his last RBI in a postseason game. Think about that. Like, wow. And, you know, to sit here and go, what if I told you, you know, and all this stuff and all the what ifs and the scenarios that you could say, but, like, even yet, without Yelly being that 2018 Yelly, even with, you know, a quiet series other than the first at-bat from Bryce Terang, that here you are in Game 5 against the Cubs, I think you're starting to realize, like, oh, okay, they are in a good position. They're at home. They are able to see easy spots to say, okay, that can be a little more offense. That can get a little bit going in the right direction. So Yelly's at the top of my list of somebody that needs to be an X factor tonight.
I mean, but he's still, I think he's 9 for his last 23. He's almost hitting 400, you know, in his last, like, handful of postseason games. It just, he hasn't. And the only thing that really stands out to me was in Game 4 when he comes up and he strikes out with runners on second and third. That's the only time I can think of, he probably could have gotten an RBI there. He's still been Yelly. He's still been productive. And you know those big moments are in there because he seemingly had big moment after big moment back in 2018.
I mean, we've covered him for so long, guys, and we understand that Yeli's a quiet leader. Yeli's somebody that's not going to, bang his chest and be that guy on the top step. That's not his role. Not that he's not a leader. He is certainly the leader of this clubhouse. But I can promise you this, and I think Brewers fans understand this very well. It is burning Yeli. It really is burning Yeli that they haven't, that they're one game away in 18, and they haven't really given themselves another opportunity like they did in 2018 to be one game away. So that's why I'm so excited to see what he does tonight, that he's had this moment burning and burning and burning and waiting and trying to find just a little bit more to get him in. Everyone's hanging this time of year. Everyone's hurting. And yesterday, the vibe I got from talking to the guys yesterday was so needed, and it was such a good timed off day.
Well, that was the thing, I think, because I think it was a good timed off day, not just for the guys, but for the fan base. And I know it's something that you have addressed. I've seen you do it, where everyone's just, but something really bad could happen. Yeah, but something really awesome could also happen tonight. And that's the energy that is needed inside the ballpark if you're a Brewers fan heading to AmFam Field right now.
To the way I describe it, and I'm a glass half full guy by default, right? I play golf. Okay, Gabe, you play golf. Like,
if you're
Alex,
not
we're
glass
working
half
on it.
full,
I am working on it. You're right.
Tough to be glass half full with what I've seen out of Alex Strouf, but I digress.
I'm a glass half full guy. Maybe not when it comes to sports, but
here's the thing.
I was more talking about your golf swing.
Yeah, whatever. Go ahead, Dom. Make your point, please.
But when it comes to being glass half full, and when it comes to being relentlessly positive, when it comes to being, just sort of, we don't know. That's the beauty of all of this. That's what I enjoy. It is way better to save your energy for after. And I will welcome that energy on my post-game show today. If it doesn't go the Brewers' way today, bring it on. Let's talk about it. But there's no sense in worrying and working yourself up over scenarios that haven't happened. So history repeats itself, guys. And the pessimistic view is, they're going to lose another winner-take-all game. But the exciting news is, history repeats itself. They were up 2-0, then had to come back home 2-2, 2011. Walk off. We could have an epic call from Jeff Levering tonight. Like, that's how I feel. I feel like that can happen again.
If you talk yourself into them losing tonight, it's not going to hurt any worse. It's not going to hurt less if it happens. It's still going to hurt.
It still hurts.
That's part
scenario,
of it.
But
just lose yourself in the game. Just lose yourself in the game.
It's a privilege to be in the spot, as we've talked about all week, right? To have meaningful baseball against your rival, to have a Game 5 in Milwaukee, in this city that everybody's wrapped their arms around this team. Heartbreak is a privilege. Hopefully we don't experience it tonight, but it is a privilege at the end of the day. To love something so much that it hurts so bad when it ends, and hopefully tonight it doesn't end. But ultimately, that's where we're at, and I love the history repeats itself. Dom Cotroneo / J. Cole on that one. History repeats itself, and that's just how it goes.
So where do you,
exactly.
When you look at this tonight, Dom, where do you think the Brewers have the advantage?
It's funny. I actually asked that direct question to a member of the coaching staff, and the way that I framed the question was, you both run the bases well. You both play incredible defense. Yeah, they probably have a little more pop than you, but it seems like it's more of an anomaly right now than it is consistent. So where's the advantage? And he goes, that it's here, that it's in Milwaukee. This is what the 97 wins was for. This is why you worked hard. Like, there was a lull in September. We can't deny that. There was a lull in September because they didn't know what they were playing for. Then the challenge came. What you're playing for is the best record in baseball. What you're playing for is to make sure that every single one of those tense, clutch, oh my God games is in our house. And that's why the edge matters. And that's where the Brewers, as we've heard Pat Murphy say, we've lost our edge. We need to find our edge. That's where the edge is, that it's in this ballpark tonight. And that's the most important thing in my eyes.
Brewers fans better bring it tonight, Gabe.
Oh, they will. I've got no doubt about that. If anybody's been listening to Murph, everybody's been pumped up. Everybody's ready to go. Dominic Catronio hanging out with us for the next 45 minutes or so, and we continue our conversation as he is live at American Family Field. He is at the ballpark. Dominic Catronio, more with him. Coming up next, 94.5 ESPN, 620 WTMJ.
More Specialty Brewers Saturday coming up next on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. While you may be primarily known for preying on your opponents, I think we'll be doing the hunting this week.
It's all about the chase. It's about the chase. Can we get the gazelle?
Does Lamar chase the gazelle?
No, Flacco's the gazelle.
Flacco with protection. It breaks down and he's sacked.
Get all your green and gold coverage leading up to Packers versus Bengals right here. 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Dave Spano from Annex Wealth Management. It didn't seem like it when the season started, but we've watched the crew become a great team. We're just as proud of the team here at Annex. I'll put the Annex team up against anyone when it comes to what we do. Investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning. If that's what you're looking for, let's talk soon. AnnexWealth.com. Click the Get Started button. In the meantime, let's enjoy championship baseball in Milwaukee.
Kunis Hope Chevrolet of Milwaukee is having a massive grand opening celebration, and you're invited.
3 days only.
Thursday, October 16th through Saturday, October 18th. Unprecedented grand opening celebration pricing and discounts on our entire inventory of new Chevy cars, trucks, and SUVs, plus over 800 pre-owned vehicles, starting as low as $39.95 and only $199 per month. We'll be paying above market value on all trade-ins during this event, no matter what the mileage or condition. And during our 3-day celebration, you can take advantage of grand opening service specials on oil changes, replacement tires, brake pads, and rotors. Almost all services with hundreds in savings. It's a party, and you're invited. All brought to you by your good friends and neighbors at Kunis Hope Chevrolet, Milwaukee's #1 Chevy superstore. Don't miss the Kunis Hope Chevrolet of Milwaukee's huge grand opening celebration. Thursday, October 16th through Saturday the 18th, just off I-41 at 11100 West Auto Mall Drive. For info online at KunisHopeChevy.com.
Looking for green and gold tickets? Ticket King is your go-to for Green Bay football tickets. With offices in Milwaukee and Green Bay, Ticket King is your local and most trusted source to see the green and gold. Plan ahead and get your seats this season at theticketking.com. The next home game is Sunday, October 12th against Cincinnati, with the first noon game on November 2nd when Carolina visits Green Bay. Find your seats at theticketking.com or call 414-273-6007. Theticketking.com. It's not sold out until the King is sold out.
The annual Catholic Memorial High School open house is Sunday, October 12th. Become part of the CMH tradition and make plans now to attend from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on October 12th. Register at CatholicMemorial.net. Awarded for academic excellence, a rich tradition of athletic success, and an experience rooted in faith. Find out how your student can achieve more at CMH. Tour the school, meet the faculty and coaches, learn all about the opportunities available for your student. Register today at CatholicMemorial.net. Catholic Memorial High School, where you rise. To help those who want to be helped, but may not be able to afford it.
That's what PGA Tour winner Grayson Murray had envisioned for a foundation before he sadly took his own life at just 30 years old. His parents channeled their grief into creating the Grayson Murray Foundation, carrying out his vision to help those struggling with mental health and addiction. To donate and learn more, visit GraysonMurrayFoundation.com.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
This is Specialty Brewers Saturday on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
I wouldn't be surprised at some point tonight, we're going to get punched in the face. We're going to punch them in the face. Like, that's just kind of how these games go, right? And it's not like trying to avoid getting punched. It's just, how do you respond from that? So, they're a great team over there, as we've seen, and it's really just going to be all about how can you respond, not necessarily, trying to avoid, something like that.
Sal Frelick before the game tonight. Gabe Neitzel, Strouf, Josh DiMaggio, Dominic Cotroneo, all hanging out with you as we are still just a little over 2 hours away from Game 5, Brewers-Cubs inside American Family Field. And Dom, I couldn't agree with him more. Like, at some point, both these teams are going to throw a punch at each other, and you're just going to have to wear it, and how do you bounce back from that, I think, is going to ultimately determine the winner of tonight's game, which makes me feel good about this Brewers team because how many times have they been punched in the face throughout the course of not even just this series, but this season, and they have seemingly always had an answer to bounce back?
Well, remember the stretch in the beginning of the season?
I try not to.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. This is a big roundabout way to say, up until like that Cleveland series, right? They only had one win when they did not score first. And to have those first two games go the way they did and to immediately punch back told you everything you needed to know about this team and how different it's been since May. And the way I look at it, guys, is like, yes, Wrigley didn't go your way. And that was a rocking crowd. That was an incredible environment, an environment that these guys haven't seen before. And for that to be your, hey, you were in it in Game 3. You were in that game. And maybe a couple of base hits here or there. Maybe it's a 3-2 ball game in the late stages. You never know what happens. Obviously, it didn't go that way. The way I see it is that the Brewers, competed well in Game 3. Didn't quite get over the hump, obviously. Game 4, they got beat.
Yeah.
And I think there's a difference.
I think you're absolutely right about that. And, we talk about the way they responded. I was proud of the fight in Game 3. It never felt like they were out of that thing until there was 27 outs. On Thursday, it felt like they were out of it early, and they just couldn't muster a hit. They couldn't get balls out of the infield, and that's kind of was the case in both games in Wrigley.
I mean, their chance was the Yelich and the Yelich trio.
But then, if
they score runs there,
you fall behind 0-1 on a bad call by the ump, right? That was not a strike. ABS would have told you it wasn't.
Yeah,
and you fall behind early, so obviously that count gets thrown out.
But that was their opportunity.
I agree with you.
Yelich trio not coming up with the hit. That was the opportunity. Yep. They get a hit there. It's 3-2. I think that changes things. Ultimately, that doesn't go their way.
You do the Ortiz bunt 10 times out of 10, right? You advance the runners to second and third and take the out. And then you've got, your ideal two guys, right? In Yelich and Chourio. Now they will be reverse order tonight back to the order we had Game 1 and 2. But that was your opportunity regardless. 3 hits isn't going to win you a whole lot of games in the playoffs. It's just not. And now that they're back at home, now that they're in their ballpark, I feel confident they will have more than 3 hits tonight. But that's not going to win you a lot of ball games just like it did on Thursday.
The way I see it, guys, is with this lineup, talking about Chourio leading off and Yelich hitting cleanup, and with Pomeranz starting, right? So that leaves, we know Shota is going to be involved in this game somehow. We don't exactly know how, but that leaves only one other leverage lefty that Craig Counsell can go to in his bullpen, and that being Caleb Thielbar. And he's had, he's a ground ball guy, but he can still give up the long ball. So the way I see it is like, you don't have to get to Pomeranz. It'd be nice if they did, of course. You always want to punch first. But knowing that you have that window of Turang 2, Yelich 4, and then Sal, where it's like, they don't really have a counter for that. Now, Andrew Kittredge does have reverse splits. He's pretty good. But that's what I'm excited about is that, okay, by them starting their best stopper, Pomeranz is not the closer, but he's their best stopper. Mm-hmm. That means that could be a door slightly open ajar later in the game.
I'm curious, Dom, your perspective on something Gabe and I discussed earlier, and that is getting off to a fast start. I forgot how you phrased it, Gabe. How imperative is it, I think was the word you used?
Yeah, I mean, how important would it be for the Brewers to get off to a fast start tonight?
Well, so here, I'll dive into my notebook here. As I'm double dipping tonight, guys. I'm helping out the crew over on TBS, doing stats and research for them as well.
Give me the nerdy stuff, Dom.
Our guy's working out on TV. That's why he's got the suit on. All right.
Come on.
Things are making
Dress for the job you want, not for the job you have.
But also, you look great. I mean, I don't know why Gabe's giving you such a hard time. I think you look phenomenal, Dom. Anyway,
I appreciate it.
Give us the nerdy stuff.
If I could be wearing a Sal Frelick jersey, I think I would be. But the way I look at it is scoring first. We talk so much about scoring first. Teams that score first in a winner-take-all game, 88 and 49. 88 and 49 all time. But here's the other side of that coin, and the sad irony of this.
Oh, boy.
The Brewers have scored first in each of their last 3 winner-take-all games. Obviously, they're 0-3 in those.
I wish you didn't
so,
do that.
I'm just saying. I'm just preparing you because you might see that on the telecast tonight. But I'm just saying is that
I wonder why.
The irony, and again, history repeats itself. 2011, the Diamondbacks scored first. Brewers came back in 1-10. So we can look at every number known to man. And I've said this line before. I'll say it again for people who haven't heard it. Stats are like bikinis. They show you a lot. They don't show you everything. And the way I look at it, we can look at every single number we want to. Their barrel rate, their xWOBA, how many infield hits they have, how many singles, how many strikeouts, how many outs. It does not matter. Did you score more runs than the other team? That's it. That's the only stat that matters.
I'm glad you wore a suit and not a bikini. That's my takeaway.
I promise you that. My fiance feels the same.
I enjoyed watching it dawn on you a little bit behind everyone else.
Yeah, like it took Strouf a beat, and you heard that little chuckle into the microphone. It took him a second.
I'm me, guys. Sorry. I am who I am.
Hey, I went to state school.
Over under 7.5 as the most outs any pitcher on any side gets tonight.
Alex, I'll let you go first.
Say it again.
Over under 7.5 outs. Most outs for any pitcher.
I'm taking the under.
I'm going over.
Oh.
I think...
Which side do you think it's more likely for?
Brewers.
Okay.
I think either Quintana and or Miz will get 9 outs.
I'm so curious what the leash is on Miz tonight. Because obviously if he's locating, you let him go, right? Obviously.
Exactly.
Like they did in Game 2.
Mm-hmm.
But if things
I could see a window, looking at the lineup for the Cubs. Tucker hits third again. Seiya, Happ, Kelly, PCA. After Tucker, I see a window there. And depending on how the innings go, 4 through 9, I think Miz is the favored arm. The matchup favors Miz. Velo, just let it eat, bro. That's how I feel for Miz tonight.
Throwing 97 sliders. A lot was made, of when he pitched in Game 2 how many pitches did he throw over 102 miles an hour, whatever it was, 31?
31 pitches over 100, a pitch tracking era record going back to 2008.
Yeah, but I was more impressed with the 97 mile an hour sliders that were going, because those were strikes, and that's the big thing. That's what allows the 100 plus 104 that plays more when the 97 mile an hour slider's a strike.
That's what we saw in first half Miz. That's what we saw in All-Star Miz, where he was a pitcher, not a thrower, and he was able to mix and match. The 12 strikeout game against the Dodgers was one of the best games I've ever seen pitched in person. Straight up. Everything was in and around the zone. He was navigating 100 and had that slider cutter. I call it a cutter. I know he calls it a slider. It moves and behaves like a cutter. And
when it's going 97, it can only move so much.
But that's the thing, and it's just that it's not necessarily a swing and miss pitch. I know Willie Castro remembers his swing and miss against that slider back when he was a Twin, but it's not necessarily a swing and miss pitch. It's a get off the scent pitch. Mm-hmm. It's I know you're sitting 102, here's a wrinkle. And then, I'm ready for the wrinkle. I'm ready for, here's the curveball. That's the Miz that needs to show up. Now, when you got 103, sometimes you kind of sit there and go, you got 103, man. Why do you got to do anything else? So yeah. I think that the Brewers understand that the leash is similar to what it was in Game 2, maybe a little shorter just because it is a Game 5.
Right, just because it's a Game 5. But also, you used the term X factor before, Dom. I don't think anybody else comes to mind more so than Miz when you use that term for Game 5 tonight.
From a pitching perspective, 100%.
Yes.
Because he needs to get outs, period. Point blank. The Brewers do not win this game without Jacob Misiorowski getting an out. I just don't see a path without it. And you can sit here and argue, what about, Uribe? Yeah, but you expect him to pitch maybe 6 outs tonight. You expect that. You don't know what you expect from Miz, which is the pit in your stomach that everybody talks about right now.
Yeah, I've got it. I can attest.
More with Dominic Cotroneo. He is live at American Family Field, but I do want to thank our friends at Neurospine Center of Wisconsin. They have been bringing us Brewers talk all throughout this postseason push. If you have neck or back pain, let the top nationally rated spine specialists at Neurospine Center of Wisconsin help you get back into the game. Check out the website, nscwi.com, nscwi.com, Neurospine Center of Wisconsin. Your spine health is their passion. Our Brewers coverage also brought to you by Annex Wealth Management, Boucher Automotive, and Delta Dental of Wisconsin.
More Specialty Brewers Saturday coming up next on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Neck and back surgeries can be risky. Your spine deserves the best. Professional athletes trust Neurospine Center of Wisconsin, including baseball, where surgeon Dr. Brandon Rebels helped get Milwaukee's MVP back on the field for a stellar season. We can help you too, with the top nationally rated spine surgeons in the state for quality outcomes. You can trust the professionals at Neurospine Center of Wisconsin. Get a second opinion in just a few clicks. Now offered virtually throughout Wisconsin. Visit nscwi.com. Neurospine Center of Wisconsin. Your spine health is our passion.
At Boucher, we don't just sell cars, we build careers.
For over 45 years, Boucher has been Wisconsin's trusted name in automotive excellence, and today we're growing faster than ever.
Whether you're an experienced professional or just starting out, Boucher is hiring across all departments: sales, service, finance, and more.
Enjoy industry-leading pay, unbeatable benefits, paid training, and a workplace that truly values you. Join the Boucher family, where we ride with you every mile, and your future rides with us. Apply today at Boucher.com.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Toscher here for the Pickler Menominee Falls, and it is now open, your home for pickleball. 9 premium indoor courts with unlimited play, leagues, tournaments, and clinics, all included in your membership. And right now, if you're not ready to commit to a full membership, you can try it all with their special trial offer, 15 days for just $30. That's 2 full weeks of unlimited play, leagues, and clinics for only $30. Check it out today at thepickler.com, and we'll see you on the court.
The annual Catholic Memorial High School open house is Sunday, October 12th. Become part of the CMH tradition and make plans now to attend from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on October 12th. Register at CatholicMemorial.net. Awarded for academic excellence, a rich tradition of athletic success, and an experience rooted in faith. Find out how your student can achieve more at CMH. Tour the school, meet the faculty and coaches, learn all about the opportunities available for your student. Register today at CatholicMemorial.net. Catholic Memorial High School, where you rise.
This is Brian Balaga. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN.
94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI-HD Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. While it's already been a season to remember,
Fly ball to deep right. It is back. Soto back. Out of here. Can you count to 14? It's a franchise record for the Milwaukee Brewers.
the story is still being written. This is Brewers Specialty Saturday. Now broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. Here's Alex Strouf, Gabe Neitzel, Josh DiMaggio, and Tony Cartagena.
And we've got Dominic Cotroneo hanging out with us as well. He is at American Family Field ahead of Game 5, Brewers-Cubs. Whew. Yeah. We are about 2 hours away from that opening pitch. Doors are open, though, Dom. What are we looking at right now inside the ballpark?
You know, Cubs haven't started taking BP yet. There's guys moving around, stretching around and everything. Brewers have already concluded their batting practice and already people rushing down to the bottom rows of their sections. And panels closed, roof closed, to be expected. You know, I know there's some little bit of precipitation in the area tonight, but it's going to be loud. And it's really fun when it's both closed. You know, I think that's what really makes you feel like playoff baseball. It was closed last night in Seattle, too.
Early report. What's the ratio, Brewers to Cubs fans?
I can't. Inconclusive.
Okay.
The polling data is still coming in. If you're in line, stay in line, all that stuff. So.
I will say, being there for Game 1, I was a little nervous because a lot of Cubs fans showed up early, and then when it filled out, it was 90-10.
But it was like 80-20, you said, right?
Oh, 90-10.
Okay, got it.
It was
90-10 easily.
Yeah.
I'm curious from people I talked to.
Yeah, it was 90-10, and I guess I never looked into the Game 5 tickets, but I'm guessing it was also sold out for just as long as Game 1 and 2. I would assume a very similar ratio.
Yeah, I guess
inside
I guess why I would imagine there will be more of a Cubs presence is because how often do you have a closeout game 90 miles away from your home city? That would be just my hunch, but I imagine it's still much more Brewers than Cubs fans.
I mean, when I looked down Vivid Seats earlier today, I think they only had like 600 tickets,
and they were expensive.
Yeah, I'm going to take a look at my marketplace that I choose from here, and you guys keep talking. I'll come back to you.
Talk amongst yourselves. Yeah, I mean, because it's just nobody's putting these tickets up for sale.
Right.
That's part of the issue.
Which is good. That's what we've advocated for. That's a good thing.
Yes. That's again, some Cubs fans are going to be there, and that's just the way it's going to be. But I think we're going to see another 90-10 game.
Good. Yeah, I see nothing less than face value right now.
No. Oh, hell. Heavens no. Heavens no. That's
I'm just saying, it's just like, it's not available. That's what I'm saying. It's like, there's not much, there's not like, oh, this is a great deal on a seat. Like, nah,
no, do you want to pay $180 to stand?
Yeah, $172 is the cheapest standing room ticket I see.
I don't think I would do. What's the most, like, I've had this conversation with people, guys, like, as World Series comes near, like if the Brewers are in the World Series.
Yes.
Let's say, let's go by tier.
Mm-hmm.
Standing room, in the building but have a seat, and lower bowl. Do you have a number that you would reach? Like oh man, once I get...
I'm fine standing because I'm a pacer by nature. Like, I pace a lot when I'm nervous, and obviously if we get to that level, I will be very nervous no matter the score. I would probably pay no more than $300 to get in the building.
I am willing to pay, if it's a World Series game, an uncomfortable amount.
What does that mean?
Well, we're not going to put a number on it, but it
has a comma.
Yeah, I'd be uncomfortable.
I don't think I have a comma. I think that's where my line is drawn.
It's a lot.
Mr. Worldwide is Mr. Moneybags also.
No, I don't know about that, but for a World Series
alone, yes.
I mean, again, the Brewers in the World Series has only happened one other time, and I was not born yet. So if and when it happens,
How incredible would it be? And I know Major League Baseball doesn't want to hear this, but this is the truth. How incredible would it be for a Seattle Pilots World Series? Mariners, Brewers.
Yep.
A team that's never been and a team that's never won. Like, sign me up for the narratives and the storytelling of the fan bases, of what they've been through, the connection of the Pilots, the connection of the Sea League family. God, that would be incredible.
And honestly,
so much fun.
The Mariners are a fun team, too.
They're really fun.
Like, the fact that the second slowest man in all of baseball has stolen 30 bases for them is incredible.
Like, stole third last night on Skubal.
He did.
Stole third last night, uncontested, and it was awesome.
First stolen base of third against Skubal all season.
Really? That I didn't know.
All year.
And he did it just so effortlessly. It was awesome. But so that is a fun team. Obviously, the Brewers are a fun team as well, Dom. And I feel like from the outside looking in for me all year, I just keep saying there's something different. It feels different. And I get pushback sometimes on the Carvel's Talking text line. Well, you can't just say that. If you could put it into words of why this team is different, how would you do that?
I would say this team is different because they know they're good. I think that last year you knew Willie was good. You knew Contreras was good. Sal was, 2 homers, still learning what it took to be an everyday big leaguer. Bryce, the quantum leap was good, but it's still a good role player. And Chourio, the first half into the second half. Now these guys understand they've been there, they've done that, they've won 14 in a row. They had the best record in baseball for a reason because they're that good. And you want to talk about, home runs are the only thing that matters in the postseason, or you just got to make sure that you slug the ball in October. I mean, you can't be one-dimensional either. Mm-hmm. Ask what the Phillies are doing today. They're one-dimensional.
Ask what the Yankees are doing.
The Yankees, one-dimensional. The Blue Jays are the American League version of the Brewers, maybe slightly better version. The Mariners pitch the lights out. The Brewers do a little bit of everything well. Maybe they don't hit the ball over the yellow line as much as other teams, but they still hit it over the yellow line a lot, as we've seen in this series. So I think that's the biggest difference. This team knows its talent. This team knows it's good. It's got a good mix of veteran where it's veterans that are still in their prime. Contreras still in his prime. Vaughn entering his prime. Chourio still young, hasn't even reached his prime, you could argue. Yelich, despite all the injuries, had an incredible season. So this team knows it's built for right now, and that's why I think it's a little different this season.
On that note, can we just take a moment to acknowledge the greatness of one William Contreras? That guy is so unbelievably good, whether it's offensively, whether it's defensively. It's the poise behind the plate. What did he have in, was it Game 2 or Game 3? 7 pitchers that he led through there. I mean, Josh, I know we talked about this earlier in the week, but just sign him to a lifetime contract. I want that man nowhere but Milwaukee for the rest of his career. He has been so steady, so good, so important to the success of this team now at 99 wins on the year.
He caught the second most innings in baseball. Go for it, Gabe.
So much was made of Willie leaving because he was the heart and soul of this team last year. Has Contreras kind of replaced that, or who has stepped up and kind of filled that void from a year ago?
I think that this was a popular question in spring training, and I think we sometimes, and I want to phrase this carefully, I think sometimes we overdo it with Willie's leadership. I'm not saying he was a bad leader. I'm not trying to say that in the slightest. But because he was so outward and because we saw it in the media and because we saw that, that doesn't mean it doesn't happen behind the scenes with other guys. Like Yelich is the first guy that comes to mind. Another guy that comes to mind is Freddie Peralta. And another guy that is somebody I think Brewers fans realize they're spoiled in the production that you've got out of Freddie over the life of this deal, the quality of a human he is over the life of this deal, the aspect of him being the leader in the locker room, even with with Willie departing. The way I describe it, and William's certainly one of those leaders too, but it's kind of natural for a catcher to be a leader because he has his hand in so many different areas of the game. The way I see it with Freddie is 21st birthday for Jackson Chourio in spring training this year. He's the one bringing the speaker and bringing the cake in. That's something that matters to me. Your veteran leader, your guy, Chourio was tight with all of them. William, Freddie, and Willie. And Freddie already being like, yeah, hey, you're part of us. Come on, here's the cake, and smashing them with frosting and all that fun stuff. Freddie's an underrated leader in that aspect. And I know yesterday or Game 4's performance burns him, but he'll be back if they move on for a CS.
Oh, if they're playing in the CS, I'm never questioning Freddie. Okay, and realistically, it was he had one bad batter walking on 4 pitches, and then he threw one bad pitch to Ian Happ. That's basically what it was, and then he gives up the 3 runs, and you're fighting from behind again. And I guess I just look at William, and maybe it's through the prism of, and now it's been out for a week, what he wrote for the Players Tribune heading into the postseason, and just being that guy. But also I feel when you have a younger team and an experienced team at times what the Brewers can be, when you have a guy that's leading by example, the way he played through the finger injury, and then it's very obvious that you have the wrist injury or hand injury, whatever you want to call it, after he got hit on the catcher's interference call late in the season, and it's so painfully obvious to everyone involved that you would literally have to put him in a straitjacket somewhere miles away from the stadium to keep him out of the lineup. I think that means something, too, when you have a guy who's willing to lead by example and play through what he's played through this year.
When I talked to him earlier, actually in St. Louis after that wrist, and I just finally had a moment with him, and he's a hard guy to track down, too, because he's always in a meeting, he's always hitting, he's doing something, whatever. And I just why? Why do all, you could take a breather, the finger, all this stuff. Why? And he goes, because I love it. Because I love playing baseball. I don't want anything ever taking away from me playing baseball. And I'm just going to say the quiet part out loud here, guys. Not a lot of baseball players love playing baseball. I'm just going to be real. And you talk to a guy like William Contreras, who even the day after he gets hit on the wrist, no fracture, thank goodness, there's swelling. Look, his watch is barely closed. There's swelling. And he's like, I want in there. And some guys are born with it, and he's one of those guys born with it. And, man, it's sometimes you got to save him from himself. But, my goodness, what an incredible athlete, what an incredible find. And may you recall, guys, that was Matt Arnold's very first trade at the helm.
It was a hell of a move.
Sure
I still can't. Looking back at it now, doesn't it seem crazy that he was available? Doesn't it seem insane that he was somehow
when you go back in time, Sean Murphy was the belle of the ball.
Yeah,
everybody was like, oh, yeah,
fair.
Sean Murphy can't miss. That guy's going to be great. Shout out to Wright State. And then, injuries are a part of this too. But I was talking to the people with the Braves a couple of years ago when he was having, showing what he can do. And Braves people were like, dude, there were division in the Braves of why did you let him go? What? They had so much loyalty to d'Arnaud, obviously, and then they went and traded for Murphy, and they're like, whoa, this guy's a winner. Why'd you let this guy go? And the Brewers are the beneficiaries.
God, that is the perfect way to describe William Contreras. Dude's just a winner.
Sure. He's got one ring, he wants another.
Yeah, and he's somebody who knows what it takes. God,
what makes him such a valuable asset for this Brewers team. That's why we needed to have a moment of appreciation, and I appreciate you both participating in that.
I went out and bought this jersey after.
Are you wearing a Contreras jersey?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, I went out and bought this jersey after I read the Players Tribune piece.
Oh, it's new.
That's cool.
Yeah, I was so just amped and fired up after reading that. I literally drove to the team store that Thursday afternoon, and I got a William Contreras jersey.
That's a great.
Did you put the patch on it?
They didn't have one available.
Oh, right, because it was only for the weekend. You're right.
Yeah. Have I gone on eBay to take a look at getting one? Yes, I have, Dominic. Yes, I have. So that very well could happen. But we've gotten plenty out of William Contreras. We've gotten a lot out of the top of that lineup. Jackson Chourio, Christian Yelich certainly has his moments. But is there somebody who needs to step up in the bottom part of that lineup? We talk about that with Dominic Cotroneo as we continue with our Brewers specialty programming on 94.5 ESPN and 620 WTMJ.
More Specialty Brewers Saturday coming up next on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. Greg Matzek, Gary Ellerson, the day after reaction show you need in your life.
Who benefits the most from Micah Parsons being on the field? Secondary. Keyshawn Nix.
It's Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Mondays with Greg and Gary.
If you're a quarterback, you've got to get the football out of your hands before you really want to do it. I mean, everybody's getting their wealth with this, but to me, I think it's really the guys in the secondary.
Live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook Studios from 6 to 8 p.m. every Monday on 94.5 ESPN.
I walk on the shoulders of giants who have come before me. I am ASAP and Maya Angelou. I am Marva Collins and Frederick Douglass. From A to Z, I celebrate, emulate, and commemorate their example.
This is part of the Declaration of Excellence Milwaukee College Prep scholars recite not just during Black History Month, but each and every morning. Because our students don't just honor history, they're determined to shape it. Enroll your scholar for the 2025-26 school year at MilwaukeeCollegePrep.com.
Any coach will tell you, games are won in the preparation. The same's true in cybersecurity. Trend Micro helps businesses move from reactive to proactive with cyber risk exposure management. That means real-time visibility into your risks across cloud, email, endpoints, and networks. For over 35 years, enterprises worldwide have trusted Trend Micro to prepare, protect, and perform. Don't wait for the next threat to blow the whistle. Get secure now at trendmicro.com, because the best defense is being ready before the game even starts.
This is an ad by BetterHelp.
BetterHelp therapists have helped more than 5 million people worldwide on their mental health journeys. Moments in therapy, like the right question or a safe space to cry or a small win, can really change lives. This World Mental Health Day, we're celebrating the therapists who have helped millions of people take that step forward. If you're ready to find the right therapist for you, BetterHelp can help you start that journey. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp.com/timeout. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/timeout.
For your fellow fanatics and your number one fans. For your game day compatriots and your everyday companions. For your personal cheerleaders and your personal heroes. For the reasons you smile, get covered with dental and vision insurance from Delta Dental of Wisconsin and Delta Vision. Learn more at deltadentalwi.com today.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Fisco is always there for your auto body care. When accidents happen, Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin is there when you need them. Got a broken mirror? They'll take care of it. Dented bumper? Scratch paint? Fisco Auto Body will take care of it. If there's any damage you need fixed, Fisco has you covered. Their expert workmanship is guaranteed for the life of your vehicle. So stop in for all of your auto bumps and dings. Once again, you know the line. That's Fisco.
The annual Catholic Memorial High School Open House is Sunday, October 12th. Become part of the CMH tradition and make plans now to attend from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on October 12th. Register at CatholicMemorial.net. Awarded for academic excellence, a rich tradition of athletic success, and an experience rooted in faith. Find out how your student can achieve more at CMH. Tour the school, meet the faculty and coaches, learn all about the opportunities available for your student. Register today at CatholicMemorial.net. Catholic Memorial High School, where you rise.
This is Specialty Brewers Saturday on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
I would just chalk it up to baseball. Sometimes you score early, sometimes you score late. That's definitely been the trend. And, I guess our goal is to go out there and, score first, score the most.
Deep baseball thoughts with Brewers first baseman Andrew Vaughn. The hope is that they score early and score the most. I mean, what else could you ask for from Andrew Vaughn?
Some guys are great at the press conference quote, and some guys are great at hitting. And Andrew Vaughn's the latter.
Yeah, he's just a good hitter. And honestly,
just like that.
Yeah, yes, exactly. If I had my preference, it would be the way Andrew Vaughn is.
Yes, I agree.
Keep crushing baseballs, man.
Yep.
And keep crushing baseball. And look, the top half of the lineup with Andrew Vaughn, Gabe Neitzel, along with Dominic Cotroneo, who is out at AmFam Field, Alex Strouf, Josh DiMaggio here on our coverage on 94.5 ESPN and 620 WTMJ, brought to you by Neurospine Center of Wisconsin. The top half of the lineup, I think, is delivered. Now, the bottom part of the lineup's been hit or miss. I think we've seen even Bryce has struggled now a little bit in the last couple of games. Sal's had his struggles. And do you think the bottom part of that lineup needs to step up in order for the Brewers to come away with a Game 5 win tonight, Tom?
Yes, because that's how they did it all season. That's they're best by the sum of their parts, not individually as superstars carrying them. Like, they have very good players at the top of their order, but if they're always coming up with nobody on base, then you end up with like what happened in Game 1, where yes, the Cubs hit 3 homers with their studs. They were all solo homers. Mm-hmm. So with that first game, with those first 2 games, keeping the line moving. Sal is an easy pick, given he's 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position. Just the sac fly in Game 3 was all he's got in this game from a run production standpoint. Bryce, he had the double in Game 1, hasn't had anything since. But the other guy that I'm pointing out is Caleb Durbin, because he's probably not going to face a lefty much today. Pomerantz is not going to make it that far down. Maybe he gets Shota at some point. But the Cubs are going to make a priority to make sure that he only sees righties, because that is his Achilles. Fastballs into this righty. And I look at those 2 names, Sal and Durbin, as the guys that are, look to saying, you're going to play the whole game. You're going to get opportunities. You're going to be pitched to like you're a threat. So maybe you can find some grass out there. There's plenty of grass out there to find. Go find it.
You're going to be pitched to like you're a threat. Be a threat. Right? It's as simple as that. And last year in Game 3, Sal had that moment. He had a moment we will always remember. Unfortunately, not to the level we should, because it ended up being a loss. Give me a Sal moment. Give me a Terang moment. Give me a Durbin moment. You need a moment tonight that we will talk about in a win tonight, that we will talk about for years and years and years in a Game 5 do-or-die game against your rival that will ultimately lead to a city's bragging rights for the rest of our lives. Give me a moment from one of those guys.
But give me a thought on, it's T-Plush, right, in 2011.
Mm-hmm.
Like, maybe it needs to be like a role player. Maybe it needs to be kind of where you least expect it. I know T-Plush had a good year, but it's just like, maybe it's Perk. Maybe it's Joey.
Maybe it's a great call also.
Maybe it's somebody you do not expect, because we have so much on Durbin and Frelick and Terang. Maybe it is somebody you don't expect, and they become somebody that never has to buy a drink in Milwaukee again.
I have had a feeling that, one of these times when Joey's batting with the bases loaded, which seemingly happens every other game at this point, like, he's going to have a big hit. Like, I feel at some point he's just going to get one that falls through, and maybe tonight's that night for him. But my question to you now, Dom, because we were just talking about that moment with Sal last year. Is there going to be a moment tonight where AmFam Field gets louder than after that Sal Frelick home run from last year? Because when he hit that one out of the ballpark, the place was up for grabs.
After they win?
I was going to say after the win. That would be the only thing that tops it. Unless it's a walk-off winner, I don't see how decibel-wise. That's the loudest I've heard this ballpark.
It's the loudest I've heard the ballpark. I was not there when Joshy, I know you were there in 2011 when T-Plush hit the walk-off. I got to imagine that'd be about the only time that could rival the Sal Frelick homer from a year ago.
The only way I could describe 2011 was you couldn't hear your own thoughts. It was like rattling my skull the way people were screaming
when T-Plush had the walk-off hit.
I think of one thing. It's what you're talking about, Alex, is like if it's Joey, because this is I've used this description before, but it's like a Game 5 crowd is a baseball crowd, and there's a difference between a Game 1 crowd and a Game 5 crowd. There's a difference between a Saturday crowd and a Wednesday crowd. There's a difference between a holiday crowd and a Saturday crowd. Like, there's differences. So the point I'm making is that a Game 5 crowd are the baseball people, and these are the people that are locked in on every pitch, and the people that have locked in on all season. That if it's Joey, given the offensive struggles he had this year, that's how you can produce a decibel level that loud.
I guess I just still have faith in Joey. I know the numbers aren't there, but he still just does everything you're asked. He still puts it's not like he's up there and he's just a one-pitch out machine or striking out, just an abnormal amount. He still is able to go up there, put together quality at-bats, move a runner when he's asked to move the runner. I still feel like he does everything he's asked. Yes, the numbers don't add up, but I still have confidence in him when he's up there because he does the thing that everybody else does in that lineup and just puts together quality ABs.
Well, I mean, you're talking to a guy that picked him as my pick to click this season. So, of course, I've got stock in him. So, of course, I'm hanging on to that.
What better time
it's like crypto, baby. I'm hanging on.
I'm hanging on.
What better time to click than Game 5?
I think that with Joey, knowing the value that he provides with his glove is in the playoffs, man. It's hard to quantify. Defensive metrics are not perfect. But, man, I mean, the outs above average have gone through the roof here in the second half. His DRS, he's now a positive defender. He's got back on the right track, and Matt Erickson deserves a lot of credit for that, too. But at the end of the day, you are what the back of the baseball card says. And Pat Murphy is not going to be shy. He talked about it today, that because it's win or go home, because there's no tomorrow, he might be put in that situation where if it's the 6th inning, the 5th inning, 2nd and 3rd and 1 out, hey, Joey, here comes Jake Bauers. Hey, Joey, here comes, Monasterio. There is no tomorrow. So it sucks that, in the theory that we're talking about, it'll be fun if Joey gets the moment. He may only get 2 at-bats tonight, guys.
Mm-hmm. That's a real possibility.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I think that is such a real possibility, but that's also part of, to me, what's the fun part about Game 5. When there's no tomorrow and you manage like it, that's what just makes, I think, tonight so fun.
Hey, stop talking like that. The pit in my stomach is growing.
But, to that point, we all watched last night, Tarek Skubal, right? 6 strong innings. Why didn't you go him out? Why didn't you throw him back out for the 7th? I don't see, for either team, unless somebody gets the hot hand, and it's a hot hand fallacy, but it's there's no decision that you can prepare yourself for that you're going to freak out about. Where it's how couldn't you leave Mizorowski in for a 3rd time through? No one's expecting that. So I feel like the decisions and the margins, anything that can help your run expectancy just by a few decimal points is going to matter tonight.
Yeah, there's not going to be anything too crazy in terms of. It's not like you're going to pinch hit Lockridge for Chourio at some point, right?
No, of course not.
Everything that happens, I think, is going to be very defensible and it just makes sense, especially when it's a bullpen game. About the only thing I think people are going to potentially nitpick or could nitpick is the order in which guys throw.
And I'm fascinated to see how that plays out because I'll reference what you called it at the top of the show. It's a fool's errand to try and parse through how this game will be managed in terms of the bullpen. Again, I'm a fool, and I'll try to run that errand, but I'm going to be wrong ultimately. I'm just so intrigued to see how the hell this plays out tonight in terms of how they utilize the arms, when they utilize the arms. And again, it was a surprise to lead off, right? Because McGill is going to be your opener tonight. I don't know that a ton of us saw that coming. I know Joshy can take his victory lap on calling that one, but I thought it'd be Quintana right off the rip. We'll see how and when he plays, when he gets inserted, when Miz comes into play, as we expect him to. And ultimately, the guys like the Koenigs and the Uribes, when are they utilized? That's the part I can't wait to find out because, as you guys both just said, there is no tomorrow guaranteed. It's do or die tonight. Whew. A lot of pressure, a lot of pits and stomachs.
I got 3 keys before I go here, guys.
Please hit us.
Number 1, Abner Uribe is getting more than 4 outs. That's the first thing. You can count on that. Take it to the bank. I think Abner Uribe needs to get more than 4 outs. Number 2, the Brewers need to have more extra base hits than the Cubs. I'm not saying homers.
Yep.
I'm specifically saying extra base hits. You can win this game with 4 doubles and a triple if the Cubs hit 2 homers. You can win this game that way. And then number 3, and I talked about this in the mini pod this morning, be Brewersy. Get back to the Brewersy battles. In these 6+ pitch battles, in the first 2 games, they went their way. The last 2 games, they have not. When the Brewers win these long battles, it helps them. The reason why it's so important tonight is because there's no starter to try to run off the game. You're not trying to drive a starter's pitch count up. Everybody's going to be on a short leash anyway. So if you win these 6, 7, 8 pitch battles like Blake Perkins did in Game 1, it is such a bigger impact than it was. And the Brewers see so many pitches. They do this so well. That's what I look out for tonight.
Dom, appreciate it, man. Look forward to, hopefully, a victorious BEI later tonight.
Thanks, Dom.
Hope I'm soaked in champagne later tonight. Thanks, guys.
In that suit? What a visual that is.
Yeah, that'll be great. It'll be great.
It was really good stuff. All right, what do we got? An hour and a half? Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, hour and a half before first
I
pitch.
might not make it the first pitch.
Hour and a half before first pitch. We've got so many other things to dive into here. We've got an hour left in this program. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're excited.
No. Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yes, I am. I'm very excited. I am nervous as hell, though.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think the nerves are coming out more than the excitement right now.
Yeah, but that's how that goes. Once McGill throws his first pitch that's a strike to Bush.
Do you need me to spike something in the DC you got over there?
Wouldn't hurt.
Okay.
Wouldn't hurt. Yeah, a little liquid courage prior to this one might not hurt. I'm freaking out in the best way possible. This is awesome. The fact that, I wanted a sweep, as we all did, right? You want to go to Wrigley, you want to win the first game, boom, it's over. You get a long rest.
Well, because you also didn't want to give the Cubs hope.
No. But now I'm going to spin zone it for you. I'm so damn glad we did. I'm reading our YouTube chats on 620 WTMJ, on ESPN Madison, on ESPN Milwaukee. There's Cubs fans all over there. They're like, oh, they're going to win. Ha, ha, ha. No, they're not. Don't build your hopes up. Come on. Join us. Join us at the top with the hopes high. You want the Dodgers in the CS. Give it to us. I want to give you hope. Just so the heartbreak hurts that much more. And the victory lap feels that much better.
We've got an hour to go in the show. We'll continue to dive into Brewers Cubs Game 5 as we continue. 94.5 ESPN, 620 WTMJ.
More Specialty Brewers Saturday coming up next on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Kunis Hope Chevrolet of Milwaukee is having a massive grand opening celebration, and you're invited.
3 days only.
Thursday, October 16th through Saturday, October 18th. Unprecedented grand opening celebration pricing and discounts on our entire inventory of new Chevy cars, trucks, and SUVs. Plus over 800 pre-owned vehicles.
Starting as low as $39.95
and only $199 per month. We'll be paying above market value on all trade-ins during this event, no matter what the mileage or condition. And during our 3-day celebration, you can take advantage of grand opening service specials on oil changes, replacement tires, brake pads, and rotors. Almost all services with hundreds in savings. It's a party, and you're invited. All brought to you by your good friends and neighbors at Kunis Hope Chevrolet, Milwaukee's #1 Chevy superstore. Don't miss the Kunis Hope Chevrolet of Milwaukee's huge grand opening celebration. Thursday, October 16th through Saturday the 18th, just off I-41 at 11100 West Auto Mall Drive. For info online at KunisHopeChevy.com.
Is back pain slowing you down? When it comes to spine care, you need specialized expertise. At the OAW Spine Center, their orthopedic care specialists provide the highest level of care for everything from herniated discs to spinal fusion. They start with the most conservative, non-surgical treatments like physical therapy and injections. If surgery is needed, minimally invasive procedures at the OAW Spine Center will get you back on your feet faster. With a focus on treating the source of the problem, they take a comprehensive, active approach to spine health, getting you back to the life you love. The OAW Spine Center. There is a difference. Visit OAWSpineCenter.com. That's OAWSpineCenter.com.
Big Ten football returns to Madison this fall. The Wisconsin Badgers battle Iowa, Ohio State, Washington, and others to defend Camp Randall this season. From the grind of every snap to the roar of jump around, Badgers leave it all on the field. Be a part of all the tradition Wisconsin football has to offer. Single-game tickets are available now at uwbadgers.com or by calling 1-800-GO-BADGERS. Together, we're Wisconsin like that.
The annual Catholic Memorial High School open house is Sunday, October 12th. Become part of the CMH tradition and make plans now to attend from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on October 12th. Register at CatholicMemorial.net. Awarded for academic excellence, a rich tradition of athletic success, and an experience rooted in faith. Find out how your student can achieve more at CMH. Tour the school, meet the faculty and coaches, learn all about the opportunities available for your student. Register today at CatholicMemorial.net. Catholic Memorial High School, where you rise.
Your neighbors are talking. Did you see their sighting? Yikes.
That drafty window, it's basically air conditioning from nature. Don't be the scary house on the block this fall. Call Exterior Pros and Baths and get $3,000 off your roofing, siding, windows, or bath project. No tricks, just treats. That's 262-800-4274 or click your way to extpros.com. Fall in love with your home again. Trust the pros.
Kyle Brust-Nortman's Ben Brust here for Grimal & Associates Insurance. They do what anyone with a growing family, like myself, does. Protect what matters most. Grimal & Associates specializes in coverage that's tailored exactly to you. Clients aren't just policies. They're part of their community. Personalized American Family Insurance back service, expert guidance, and genuine commitment. Grimal & Associates focuses on building trusted relationships and providing peace of mind. The same values they've had for over 30 years in the Milwaukee area. Connect with Grimal & Associates at teamgrimal.com.
This is Specialty Brewers Saturday on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
I wouldn't be surprised at some point tonight, we're going to get punched in the face. We're going to punch them in the face. Like, that's just kind of how these games go, right? And it's not like trying to avoid getting punched. It's just, how do you respond from that? So, they're a great team over there, as we've seen, and it's really just going to be all about how can you respond, not necessarily, trying to avoid, something like that.
Fire me up!
Sal Frelick before the game. Gabe Neitzel, Josh DiMaggio hanging out here along with our guy, Alex Strouf, he's nervous. Like he is trying to figure out what to eat before the game to try to calm himself down. I got a news flash for you, pal.
I'm not going to be calm.
There is nothing in the world that is going to calm those nerves.
I don't know. Pulled pork sandwich might do it. Yeah, you're right. I was just trying to be optimistic. Maybe if we pop a pill in that pulled pork sandwich, then we might have a different
I don't think that's going to help either.
I might not.
I don't think that's going to help either.
Yeah,
he's got to steer into it, man.
Look. I'm going to continue to harp on this point, which you're probably sick of me saying today. It's a privilege to be here. It truly is.
Without a doubt.
It truly is, right? To have a game that means this much. It's been a minute. I mean, obviously Game 3 last year, but it's just different with Craig Counsell on the other side in the other dugout. It's different that it's Chicago. It's the Cubs. It's different that this team went on and took us on an absolute magic carpet ride. We bought the Brewers stock early, you and I. I mean, we were watching and living by and dying by every pitch in May and June and July, and then obviously down the unbelievable stretch in August. It's been such a fun season, and it would feel wrong for it to end tonight. It just would feel wrong, given everything around Bob Uecker's passing, and given the different heroes that have stepped up. And I know you and I have talked about that extensively on the shows we've done together the last couple months. Is the Andrew Monasterios of the world, a guy who was a borderline MLB player having multiple moments in extra innings this season. The Isaac Collins, who obviously fell off a little bit, and we haven't seen him a ton this postseason.
And that's really, I think, the Isaac Collins thing, I think, is just an unfortunate circumstance. I think he would have played more had Jackson not tweaked his hamstring.
Yeah.
He would have probably gotten the start, I think, that Lockridge got.
Yeah, probably.
I think that Jackson starts in center, and instead of Lockridge, you have Collins starting in left.
Yeah.
But because Jackson Churio can't move the way you want him to move, you can't put him in center field, and you got to keep him in left.
Yeah.
That's the unfortunate thing with Jackson Churio, and that's affected Isaac Collins. But if Isaac gets an opportunity to be a pinch hitter tonight, I have faith in him putting together a quality at bat and would not be surprised if he came through with a base hit.
That's the exact point I was about to make, because I think at one point this season I said he might be their most clutch player because he had so many moments. You talk about a guy like Caleb Durbin who kind of came out of nowhere and has become your everyday third baseman. I mean, hello, Andrew Vaughn. Where the hell did that come from? So it'd feel wrong for the season to end tonight because there's so many amazing stories and there's so much unexpected good that has come from this team who had like the 24th highest payroll in the MLB. The MLB is a lot like NIL in college athletics. Just pay who you want. Dodgers are sitting there with the highest payroll in baseball waiting to see who they'll take on Monday. Are they staying home in LA and playing the Cubs, or are they coming to Milwaukee on Monday? That's what the highest payroll in baseball is waiting to do. So all in all, my nervous spiel here, Gabe. The point is, this team is in this position for a reason. They belong here. And they also belong to play on Monday night at AmFam Field because they are just that good. And even though you don't have Brandon Woodruff, they're that good. And I'm so excited to see how this game is managed tonight by Pat Murphy because there are a lot of big decisions he's going to have to make when it comes to those pinch hitting opportunities. When it comes to who is he trotting out on the mound, right? He's already made one decision, and it sounded like from Dom Cotroneo when he joined us, yeah, they knew it was going to be Trevor McGill, but they didn't play their cards too early. Yeah. I'm just so excited to see how they go through these 27 outs on both sides and manage this game and ultimately, hopefully, come out with a win.
Well, so I don't know when they made the decision, but the full quote from Murph, we played a little bit of it before, but we missed the preamble to the good stuff. This from Adam McKelvey on Twitter. Murph on starting Trevor McGill. The pitching guys, myself, Matt Arnold, we just sat in a room and we talked about the possibilities. We considered a ton of factors. We settled on McGill. He was going to pitch tonight regardless. The power of friendship, he started it all. So it was not just a decision that Pat Murphy made here. It was everybody getting together, trying to figure out what the Brewers, in putting together a plan that is going to give them the best opportunity to win tonight. And it's just so funny to me that this is where we're at. Both teams starting an opener, something the Brewers and Craig Counsell first employed back in 2018 when they made the last run to an NLCS that ended in an unfortunate Game 7 inside of American Family Field. But both these teams are employing an opener because Drew Pomerantz isn't going to be working deep into this game. Same thing with Trevor McGill. You know, you're just going to try to get those first 3 outs and try to cobble together a pitching plan from there. It's very serendipitous to me that both these teams, Craig, who originated it here in Milwaukee, now managing for the Cubs, also employing the same plan that the Brewers have in terms of a pitching staff tonight. It's just funny. It's kind of one of those things that, literally, these are the only 2 teams I think that would do this in Game 5.
You're probably right. These teams are very similar, and they're unbelievably familiar with one another. That's what makes this just feel different, right? And obviously you get to know a team when you're playing a best-of-5 series. You saw that last night between Seattle and Detroit. But those aren't 2 teams that know each other as well as these 2 teams do. It's cool. Like, obviously I'm upset that they weren't able to finish the series in Chicago, and the Cubs were able to win 2 in a row and force this Game 5. But when you look at the moment for what it is, this is freaking awesome. This is what you watch 162 during the regular season for, man. You want to be in a spot like this. This is awesome.
I don't know if there's a bigger difference between in any sport. Maybe hockey, I don't follow it as closely.
Yeah.
But playoff baseball is just so much different than regular season baseball. Not even in just the way that you watch it. Because again, you go to a Game 1, random game in June, Brewers lose. Okay, you got another one tomorrow. But just the way it's managed, the way you watch it, where every pitch you're living and dying on everything that's happening throughout the course of the game. Like in basketball, it's different because you're playing a 7-game series in the NBA. You don't really do that during the course of the regular season. And there are some strategic things, certainly, that you do. And obviously, the energy's up because it's a postseason game. But I wouldn't say basketball is drastically played different in terms outside of the intensity level. Same thing with football. The intensity level's higher, but you're playing 1 game a week. It's the same routine. It's the same rhythm. Baseball is just so different from the way you watch it, the way it's managed, the way it's played, where over the course of 162 games, you might do one thing, but because tonight it is win or go home, you're going to do things differently and manage things differently tonight than you do throughout the course of the regular season.
Yeah, you're either playing on Monday or you're getting on a plane on Monday. And I'm not different planes. You're not getting on a plane to go to LA. You're getting on a plane to go home, right? And that's the difference in how this thing's going to be managed and how it's going to be played and the intensity level and the crowd noise. And I'm just ready to get the first pitch. I am. I
got bad news for you, pal.
I know. Just don't say it. I understand. I know it's an hour and however many. Just don't say it. Just don't say it. Just let me spew. Let me do my little pregame therapy here with you. You are actually a great co-host for this. I'm glad Joshy hasn't been talking because he'd probably just make me upset.
Well, because he likes to troll you.
Yeah, and he's really good at it.
Because again, you've shown Josh DiMaggio over enough times of you guys, whether it's you're filling in on different shows, whether it's you guys co-hosting Mr. Irrelevant 3 days a week. You've shown him enough of the weaknesses where he knows the buttons to push.
Yeah, and he's really good at it.
Yeah.
But I'm glad he's kept his mic off for the most part tonight. Yeah, you're welcome. I'm glad he's kept his mic off because you are a calming presence for me. Josh is not. So that's why I have my back to him, the way our studio is designed.
Is that a selling point for people to tune in to you guys doing the watch-along tonight on the ESPN Milwaukee YouTube page? Is that a selling point that you guys are just...
I'm going to go more off the rails than I did Thursday with just Ben Brust. Yeah, but obviously it's a Game 5 versus a Game 4. You knew there was at least another game to play. Here, you don't know that, so I'm already going to be erratic. I'm already going to be messy. I'm already going to be pissed off. Yeah, probably a selling point. We'll be live at 7 o'clock if you want to watch something like that. If you're inclined to view that, you can find it on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee, at ESPN Madison.
I expect 20% of the things out of my mouth to be directed at Strouf derisively.
I don't even know what that means, but I assume it's not nice.
That's a good thing for me.
I was about to say, it's not good for you.
Yeah,
I think that's all you need to know.
Context clues, I figured that one out. Yeah.
You're able to kind of put together what it might mean in your head. Kind of figured that one out.
Are you guys not nervous? I mean, I know look, you're a full-blown professional. You're really good at this radio thing. I think I'm pretty good at it, but I wear my emotions as a fan on my sleeve, clearly. So I'm probably not on my A game right now. We could all be honest with one another. Probably not on my A game. I wear my emotions on my sleeve.
You've been a little neurotic.
Yeah, but that's me. That's the Alex Strouf experience, my poor girlfriend. With you...
At least you have the self-awareness there. Again, something that you think is a strength.
It is a strength of mine. With you, you're able to put the professionalism first and the fandom second.
Yeah.
Are you not falling apart at the seams like I am?
No,
I'm so excited, but I'm so nervous. It's such a wonderful blender of emotions going on through my body right now.
Wednesday and Thursday were disappointing, and they were at times infuriating, especially Game 4, when they just could not get anything going offensively. And, even Carson Kelly hit one 1,000 miles that ultimately was ruled to be a foul ball, which ultimately really didn't matter. But I was upset yesterday, but at this stage, I'm just so excited for this game right now because I don't know how this team's going to find a way to get it done. And I just truly believe that.
I do too.
And I know, again, the Brewers broke our hearts last year. I was there. I was in the building when that happened for Game 3 because I was convinced that they were going to win that game. I was convinced, and I wanted to be in the ballpark for that, winning that first series since 2018, and ultimately it didn't happen. Look, did our hearts get broken in the wild card game against the Nationals in 19? Most certainly did. Most certainly got broken in 2018 in Game 7 against the Dodgers. But that's just what sports are, man. You get your heart broken so many times, and then you finally win a championship. And maybe this team wins one, maybe they don't, but it just feels different. It feels like this is a team that is going to be able to get it done. That the last 2 games, that doesn't linger. Last year, that doesn't linger for them. This is a team that is going to be able to rise to the occasion, and I can't wait to see them do it. And it's going to be anguishing. And we've heard the clip a couple of times from Sal Frelick tonight. There are going to be some times when tonight's in doubt, where the Cubs are going to punch you in the face.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a team that is so equipped to punch back and fight back that I'm excited to see him do it. Again, I'm not sure how they're going to pull it off tonight. I just feel like they're going to do it.
The magic carpet ride continues. I'm with you. I have
because you don't win 97 games by accident.
No, you do not. You do not trip into that. You do not trip into the winningest season in franchise history.
Oops, we won the most games in baseball.
Oopsies.
I can't believe that happened.
And again, I mean, you feel for Brandon Woodruff. It's a guy you would love to have at your disposal on a night like tonight, but also throughout the postseason, and maybe you will if you advance. But it's do or die, man. And you've got so many guys, to go back to something I said before, that have lived up to the moment and had their moments this season. But we need a Game 5 moment. And I don't know who's going to provide it. It could be Terang. It could be Frelick. It could be Mizorowski. I don't know who's going to provide the moment, but you need a moment.
The fact that you have so many options, and that was just a little list of the options who could provide that moment.
Don't make me mention Andre Monasterio, because I'll do it, Gabe.
Well, again, and maybe he does. As Dom pointed out, if this game's tight late, They might. I mean, if they lift Joey Ortiz, Mona's not going to be the guy they pinch hit him with, but he's going to be coming to that game. He might get an at-bat. He might have to make a defensive play that saves an inning. The list is long of guys that could have that moment, and that's also what makes me excited, because that's how deep this team is. It's not like, well, I mean, if Yelich doesn't do it tonight, I mean, the Brewers are probably pretty screwed. No, because this lineup is that deep, and they put together quality at-bats, and that's the way they do it, and they do it because of Murph. We talk about the Murph effect coming up next on our specialty Brewers Saturday, ESPN Milwaukee at 620 WTMJ.
More Specialty Brewers Saturday coming up next on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. While you may be primarily known for preying on your opponents, I think we'll be doing the hunting this week.
It's all about the chase. It's about the chase. Can we get the gazelle?
Is Lamar Chase the gazelle?
No, Flacco's the gazelle.
Flacco with protection. It breaks down and he's sacked.
Get all your green and gold coverage leading up to Packers versus Bengals right here. 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Milwaukee College Prep, redefining what's educationally possible so more children can pursue their dream. Join me, Craig Karmazin, and Milwaukee College Prep Thursday, October 23rd at Venue 3 at the 3rd Street Market Hall, and take a stand in closing the opportunity gap for Milwaukee scholars. Your support means quality education is accessible to over 2,000 scholars in Milwaukee. Enjoy food, drinks, and a chance to learn more. Purchase tickets at 2025 takeastand.givesmart.com. That's 2025 takeastand.givesmart.com.
For your fellow fanatics and your number one fans. For your game day compatriots and your everyday companions. For your personal cheerleaders and your personal heroes. For the reasons you smile, get covered with dental and vision insurance from Delta Dental of Wisconsin and Delta Vision. Learn more at deltadentalwi.com today.
Neck and back surgeries can be risky. Your spine deserves the best. That's why professional athletes choose Neurospine Center of Wisconsin. We can help you too. With the top nationally rated spine surgeons in the state for quality outcomes, you can trust the professionals at Neurospine Center of Wisconsin. Get a second opinion in just a few clicks. Now offered virtually throughout Wisconsin. Visit nscwi.com. Whether you want to get back into the game or just get back to life, go where the pros go. Neurospine Center of Wisconsin. Your spine health is our passion.
To help those who want to be helped, but may not be able to afford it.
That's what PGA Tour winner Grayson Murray had envisioned for a foundation before he sadly took his own life at just 30 years old. His parents channeled their grief into creating the Grayson Murray Foundation, carrying out his vision to help those struggling with mental health and addiction. To donate and learn more, visit GraysonMurrayFoundation.com.
The annual Catholic Memorial High School open house is Sunday, October 12th. Become part of the CMH tradition and make plans now to attend from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on October 12th. Register at CatholicMemorial.net. Awarded for academic excellence, a rich tradition of athletic success, and an experience rooted in faith. Find out how your student can achieve more at CMH. Tour the school, meet the faculty and coaches, learn all about the opportunities available for your student. Register today at CatholicMemorial.net. Catholic Memorial High School, where you rise.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week on the pod, Marcus and Chris go inside Bucks training camp. Find Here District now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
It's WTMJ's Debbie Lazaga for Comfort Awnings. I reclaim my outdoor space by having Comfort Awnings install a motorized retractable awning so I can enjoy the sun and get relief when I need it. Sensors are also available that detect strong winds and rain to extend or retract your awning. They even protect against UV radiation so you can safely enjoy the outdoors. Family owned and located in Burlington, Comfort Awnings expertly installs custom awnings that fit your home and style. Right now, you can receive a free motor for your automated awning with your order. Call 414-AWNINGS or visit ComfortAwnings.com.
This is Specialty Brewers Saturday on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Oh, make me over.
always preaching defense and pitching over the past few years. Like, that's kind of our comfort zone, I think, when we're in those situations, those close ones where we're just rolling out guys out of the bullpen and, I could handpick one and feel, 100% confident in that guy to go out and throw up a zero. So, that's, obviously you learn stuff, but playing in those close games like that, whether it's a playoff game or just a regular season game. But again, I think, that defense in close games is kind of, somewhat of our identity and, what we kind of like to culture our team on.
Sal Frelick talking about really the identity of this Brewers team under Pat Murphy the last couple of years, pitching and defense, and how much faith they have in those things coming through, especially when you're playing what should be a tight winner-take-all game tonight at American Family Field against the Chicago Cubs. P. Pablo chiming in via the Carbless Talking text line, 800-990-3776. I have faith in Murph, even if we lose, because the one thing about him, he has vision beyond the moment. And I don't know if he's just able to reach the younger players at a different way because of his experience in the college game. I asked him about that last year when he joined Jen, Gabe, and Chewy during the drive-through tailgate that they had at American Family Field prior to the postseason starting a season ago, and he didn't necessarily want to give more credit to that. He doesn't really have an explanation of why maybe he connects with the young guys, but Andrew Vaughn earlier in this series said, he just seems to understand everybody and knows what makes everybody tick and the way he can motivate individual players and know exactly what they need in order to be ready and be prepared to play their best baseball. That's another reason why I feel the Brewers, yes, tonight's a big moment. I feel like they're going to meet the moment because of how this coaching staff led by Pat Murphy prepares them.
He's impressively intentional with his approach to managing this team. He knows everybody. I think back to Game 2, his press conference prior to Game 2, and he said, Ashby's going to start for us. What's his first name? He knows his freaking first name.
Yeah.
It's been around him since, 2018, 2019 when Ashby arrived in Milwaukee? I find him fascinating, his jokes, his looseness. I mean, in Games 3 and 4, the TV reporter went up to him when they were down in that game and did a mid-inning interview with him. And you notice one thing about him both times, despite the deficit on the scoreboard. He's smiling.
He's not panicked.
He loves the pressure. He loves the situation. He loves having a target on his back.
And we talk about this all the time in every sport and how a team will take on the personality of its leader. Again, whether that's the head coach, whether that's, in football and basketball, whether that's the manager. And he knows if he's panicky, if he's being fidgety, if he's getting nervous, that is going to be reflected in the product in his players on the field because they see that, they're going to feel it. And he is just, again, he's able to get them to the point where they're ready to go no matter. And again, it doesn't always work out. Yeah, they lost Games 3 and 4, but they're going to be ready for the moment tonight. That I have zero question about. I have no doubt in my mind that he is going to have his team ready. And I don't know if he just made yesterday voluntary just to see what would happen. But I guarantee he had no doubt that everybody was showing up.
Yeah.
Hey, tomorrow's voluntary. If you want to come through, come through. He knew everybody was coming. Let's go ahead and listen to the audio of everybody being there from Sal Frelick about everybody showing up to that voluntary workout yesterday.
Listen, I just like spending time with these guys, right? Like any chance I get to come to the ballpark and take batting practice with some of these guys and watch Vonnie hit them off the scoreboard. Like I'm not going to miss a chance to do that. So it's fun for me. It's not like something that is a burden by any means. It's enjoyable. So I think everyone feels the same way.
And I go back to the piece that was written in the Players Tribune by William Contreras. And a couple of years ago, when they played the Diamondbacks, and he was just heartbroken that they lost 2 games, blaming himself. Not everybody felt that way. And I'm willing to bet that if Murph was the manager, if Council decided, hey, voluntary workout tomorrow, guys, I'm not sure if everybody shows up from that team. Now, knowing what we know now, especially from that article from William, but there was no doubt in my mind everybody was going to be there. Because that's just who these guys are. They want to be around each other. They want to be at the ballpark. They all, as Dominic Cotroneo, who joined us earlier today, pointed out, not everybody in baseball who plays the game loves baseball. But they've got 26 guys on this roster, plus a handful of more on the coaching staff, and a handful of more guys that didn't make the playoff roster, like Rhys Hoskins, who love baseball and just want to be around this.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. The power of friendship is real. You know, when you look at the other side, it looks like people are annoyed with some of their teammates. I'm certainly not talking about one in particular, PCA, but I just don't see the same level of fun. I don't see the same level of I'm enjoying this that you see with the Brewers game in and game out. And hearing Sal Frelick talk about it there where he's like, yeah, this isn't a chore for me. I love doing this. Watching Vaughnie hit him off the scoreboard, right? He's
giddy about that, right?
Yes. He likes being there. That's not, I could be sitting in my apartment and watching college football or whatever, right? No, he said, why would I dislike that? Like, he almost seemed offended by the idea that it was strange that everybody showed up to a voluntary workout.
Yeah. And honestly, if you do that, if you do a voluntary workout and it gets out that A, it's voluntary, and B, not everybody showed up,
that's a different problem, especially with the stage that is set for tonight.
I don't feel great about tonight.
I don't either.
Because you don't have 26 guys pulling the rope in the same direction, but that's what you have with this Brewers team. And again, that's what you expect at this level once you get to the postseason like this. And that's what you got out of this Milwaukee Brewers team. They're going to be ready. Murph is going to have them ready. We're about a half hour away from pregame coverage starting here on 94.5 ESPN and 620 WTMJ, but still so much more to get into when we start hour 3 of this program in 2 minutes.
More Specialty Brewers Saturday coming up next on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Pitch by pitch, inning by inning, game by game. Watching the Crew is a 162-game journey of grit, hard work, talent, and determination. Dave Spano from Annex Wealth Management, we're with you on your journey as well. Your hard work and money deserve a partner like Annex for your investment, retirement, tax, estate planning as a fee-only fiduciary. Take the next step towards retirement you desire and begin the conversation soon. Head to annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button.
When it comes to joint replacement, you want the best care available. The Orthopedic Surgery Center in Pewaukee is a leader in joint replacement, offering same-day surgery with advanced technology. Their team of experts specializes in knee, hip, and shoulder replacements, using the latest techniques to minimize pain and recovery time. By choosing them, you're choosing a center focused on providing specialized care tailored to your needs. The team at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin can get you back to what matters, living pain-free.
And their prices are more affordable than urgent care or the ER. And they'll send a full report to your primary care doctor. Why wait at the ER? Walk in to Ortho ASAP for faster, more affordable care.
Total joint replacement. There is a difference. Visit orthowisconsin.com. That's orthowisconsin.com.
The annual Catholic Memorial High School Open House is Sunday, October 12th. Become part of the CMH tradition and make plans now to attend from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on October 12th. Register at catholicmemorial.net. Awarded for academic excellence, a rich tradition of athletic success, and an experience rooted in faith. Find out how your student can achieve more at CMH. Tour the school, meet the faculty and coaches, learn all about the opportunities available for your student. Register today at catholicmemorial.net. Catholic Memorial High School, where you rise.
You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee, a Good Karma Brands radio station. While it's already been a season to remember,
Fly ball to deep right. It is back. Soto back. Out of here. Can you count to 14? It's a franchise record for the Milwaukee Brewers.
The story is still being written. This is Brewers Specialty Saturday. Now broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. Here's Alex Strouf, Gabe Neitzel, Josh DiMaggio, and Tony Cartagena.
Sometimes you and your questions just They're incredible.
No, don't do it.
They're incredible.
Don't do it.
Well, but for as nervous as you've been, and I feel like we had been doing a good job of calming you down and kind of, just mitigating the nerves the best that we can about an hour away from first pitch now.
You've done a great job.
You and Josh DiMaggio. I'm Gabe Neitzel. He's Alex Strouf along with Josh DiMaggio. You guys have the watch along tonight.
Yeah.
On the ESPN Milwaukee YouTube page, so hopefully people tune into that. If you're not heading to the ballpark, check out these guys as they're just going to be going upstairs here in the offices of the One Call That's All Gruber Lawson Studios. But you're gonna have about a half hour from when we end here. And you guys start at 7 o'clock up there. And clearly, you had mentioned you got to get something to eat. Hopefully, that's going to calm the nerves a little bit.
Yep.
You were a nervous eater hanging out at Ben Brust's house, watching Game 4, so you need to get something before. And what did you ask me and Josh?
Would it be in poor taste to eat a Chicago-style hot dog? And I realize that might be a dumb question, although I'm not a superstitious guy. It's just something that I know is readily available that sounds appetizing. I like Chicago dogs. I think everybody does, frankly. But then I realized why it was a dumb question, and you both quickly shot it down. So I have removed that, deep dish pizza and Italian beef from the menu of potential options I could eat before
What are we doing here? Like, for as nervous as you are, to want to go, hey, Chicago-style dog, that sounds good right now.
It does sound good.
Is astounding to me.
This is a guy who's in absolute zero control of his emotions.
Correct. Like, he's
he's got feelings happening. He doesn't know what they mean. He saw Chicago dog.
It's like I'm going through puberty all over again.
He's just got the first thing that comes to his mouth. He just has to spit it out.
Yeah.
I can't envision a worse thing to get at a time like this.
Can I just add what you just said, Gabe? Please say it again about me.
About what? About what?
Whatever comes to my brain, I spit it out.
You're just spitting it out.
That either makes me good or really bad material for something like a watch-along, a watch party.
Oh, I think it's going to be fantastic for the watch-along.
Yeah, look, I am in a space we're rarely in sports fandoms, right? I mean, every playoff game in baseball specifically, as a Brewers fan, is nerve-wracking. Do or die is 10x that. We had it last year in Game 3 of the wild card against the Mets. I was a disaster. I was bellied up at my favorite tavern. There really wasn't a lot of people there. It was like a perfect scenario for me. I was with my girlfriend. We were the only two at the bar. It was at a local bar that does the shuttles, so obviously we got out of there before the shuttles got back after the game. But it was a good situation for me. This line of work, this is my dream job, man. Like, I'll be very clear about that. I am living my absolute dream. It's such an honor to have this position. So when I get asked to do things like, hey, would you want to watch the game on camera?
Yeah.
So we can create a cool community of Brewers fans and Cubs fans too on YouTube that watch the game with you. Will you do it? And of course, this is the third time we're doing it. It's the third time I've said yes to it.
Just to be clear, we're not doing it for the Cubs fans. If they happen to come along, they come along.
Correct.
But we're doing it for the Brewers fans.
Correct. Yes.
All right. I just want to make one thing perfectly clear.
But naturally, there will be Cubs fans that are trolling us, as there was in Game 3 and Game 4. And so I say yes, but also, like, I am a huge Wisconsin sports fan.
Mm-hmm.
We've grown up this way. I've always been this way. I'm a little erratic, and a little bit unhinged at points.
Yeah, look, we're just here to help guide you along. You know,
I'm like you're treating me like a lost puppy,
a little bit,
which feels a little bit disrespectful.
I mean, you're a little bit like a dog right now, where your emotions are all over the place. You don't know how to regulate them. You're going to see a squirrel here in a moment, and you're going to get distracted. Like, that's just where you're at right now with your emotions, and that's fine. We're going into a Game 5, man. This is winner take all.
Yeah,
like this is what we have been waiting all season for the Milwaukee Brewers.
110%.
We've waited for 162 games, the 14-game winning streak, getting the burgers, getting 97 wins, winning the division for the third time in a row. It's now all coming down to this.
I'm glad you bring up the regular season, because while at points, especially towards the end of the season, it almost felt easy. It almost felt like they were just that much better than everybody else. I don't think at any point, though, whether it be during the 14-game winning streak or when they had, when they continued to build and build and build their lead in the NL Central over these Cubs, I don't think at any point a Brewers fan went, yeah, but it'll be easy in October. Because
No,
it's never easy. It's never easy.
It's never easy. I mean, how many teams have we seen over the years that have been the best team? Hell, the Brewers have been the best team in the National League.
And fallen flat.
And haven't been able to get to a World Series. They had the best record in the National League when they won Game 163, winning the Central Division, and they got to host Game 7 back in 2018, and ultimately
fell short.
They just fell short because the Dodgers made a couple more plays in that Game 7 than they did, and that's just the way it is. I keep going back to the William Contreras piece. The ball is round. Right? And
Sure
when you're
is.
playing a shorter series in 5 games, weird stuff can happen. And that's the nature of baseball, and baseball specifically in the playoffs.
Just like Trevor McGill opening Game 5. Weird stuff happens.
Yeah. Nobody saw that coming.
Except Josh. Nostra Joshish. Yeah, we can work on that.
Snow and ball.
Yeah, you do know ball. This is fun. I'm really excited. I really am. I'm not convincing myself I'm excited. I am excited.
It's because I hope that's true, because you did a bad job of convincing us.
Give me that
You did a
towel.
bad
Give me that
job
towel.
of convincing yourself.
Thank you.
By the way, I believe that one is mine from Game 1. So the rally towels for tonight,
They are
Josh, you sent this along of what they look like tonight.
Mm-hmm.
They've got Barrel Man on it. This is my crew, and then a picture of Barrel Man, who, by the way, has Barrel Man is a little evil, right? I mean, he's just got that
like an evil smirk.
Yeah, he's got that little devilish grin.
He's devious.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to put it. He is.
I hope they're not.
Barrel Man is devious.
I just hope they're not burning the best rally towels too early, because that's going to be a hard one to top.
That's a really good one. That's a really good one, and I hope we get more. I hope we have a lot more coming our way.
What's this one say?
I believe Magic Brew.
Oh, yeah, that's great, too.
That's the Magic Brew. That's the theme from this year.
I'm all fired up.
Okay.
Let's go. Brewers! Come on. Gotta win tonight. Gotta have it.
See, now...
You buying it now?
I know you're not as familiar with Seinfeld, but when he's trying to convince everybody he can't be funny, and then he's being a little funny, that's what you're doing right now. You're trying to convince us that you're fired up, and you can't even drink straight.
I just spilled water all over
He's spilling water all over. Strouf is just a mess, and I get it.
Let's go.
I get it.
Fired up.
That's what Game 5 can do to you.
Come on.
We've got our game predictions to dive into coming up next. Special shout out to Neurospine Center of Wisconsin. From cutting edge biologic injections to the least invasive surgeries, get a virtual second option available throughout Wisconsin. Visit nscwi.com. Neurospine Center of Wisconsin. Your spine health is their passion.
More Specialty Brewers Saturday coming up next on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Students can't prepare for future jobs they don't know exist. At Junior Achievement, we help students meet their future selves. With the support of Manpower Group and volunteers from all walks of life, JA programs help young people explore careers, build resumes, and envision bold futures. To learn more, visit wisconsin.ja.org.
All day, every day. The Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you.
First off, there is not one team that's on the fringe that scares me.
800-990-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
Neck and back surgeries can be risky. Your spine deserves the best. That's why professional athletes choose Neurospine Center of Wisconsin. We can help you too. With the top nationally rated spine surgeons in the state for quality outcomes, you can trust the professionals at Neurospine Center of Wisconsin. Get a second opinion in just a few clicks. Now offered virtually throughout Wisconsin. Visit nscwi.com. Whether you want to get back into the game or just get back to life, go where the pros go. Neurospine Center of Wisconsin. Your spine health is our passion.
Change your grocery game plan to locally owned Century Foods, home of the best meat, freshest produce, and tastiest treats. Now through Wednesday, save on 10.23 to 11.5 ounce selected varieties Mars Fun Size Candy, $4.49. 8.1 to 11.5 ounce selected varieties Bear Creek Soup Mix, $3.49. 128 ounce pale selected varieties Blue Ribbon Frozen Dairy Dessert, $5.99. 64 ounce selected varieties Sunny D Citrus Drinks, 2 for $3.
I am starving.
Oh no, never walk into a Century when you're hungry.
Unless it's free sample day. Ooh, Oh, pizza, yes. I'd love to try that one.
My husband thinks he can make a meal out of grocery store samples.
Need to wash this down. I think I see someone handing out samples in the liquor department.
Geez, can we focus on our list?
What's this?
It says you can win 2 tickets to Green Bay's home game against Chicago on December 7th.
Or autographed footballs, or a 4-pack of Green Bay Hall of Fame tickets.
You have to enter through Century's Facebook or Instagram.
I'll be entering this on my phone in the deli next to that cheese sample station.
Enter by November 12th.
Ready for the snap and a timeout taken. The team looks a little bit lost. Let's bring in Gina Della from Pella. What's the winning game plan this month?
Wayne, the winning play is simple. A whole house of new windows as low as $297 a month with 0% interest for up to 60 months.
Wow, that's a drive you can sustain for years. No penalties, no interest. A championship move from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
No doubt, Wayne. And unlike the opponent's defense, Pella Windows actually stopped the drafts.
The draft picks we gave up for number 1 had to be the steal of the century.
True, but I'm talking about replacing old drafty windows.
Roger that. With energy-efficient windows that keep the cold out, you'll stay as toasty as a fan at a warm weather preseason game.
Pay as low as $297 a month for a whole house of new Pella windows.
Plus, with 0% interest for up to 60 months, don't sit on the sidelines, folks. Make your move today.
Schedule your free consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Restrictions apply. 10/31/2025.
I walk on the shoulders of giants who have come before me. I am ASAP and Maya Angelou. I am Marva Collins and Frederick Douglass. From A to Z, I celebrate, emulate, and commemorate their example.
This is part of the Declaration of Excellence Milwaukee College Prep scholars recite not just during Black History Month, but each and every morning. Because our students don't just honor history, they're determined to shape it. Enroll your scholar for the 2025-26 school year at MilwaukeeCollegePrep.com.
For your fellow fanatics and your #1 fans. For your game day compatriots and your everyday companions. For your personal cheerleaders and your personal heroes. For the reasons you smile, get covered with dental and vision insurance from Delta Dental of Wisconsin and Delta Vision. Learn more at deltadentalwi.com today.
This is Specialty Brewers Saturday on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
A text from Levi in Stevens Point on the Carbless Talking text line, 800-990-3776. Hey, guys, still believe the Brewers will win tonight's game. It might be like last night's game between the Tigers and Mariners that went 15 innings. I don't think it's going to be that many innings, but it's going to be a great game. Let's go Brewers! Yeah, Brewers! I mean, that's... I mean, that's how it was written. That's how it's got to be read. I mean, I'm assuming that's what Levi from Stevens Point was going for.
Fire me up! Fire me up! I'm ready.
Who's got to step up most for the Brewers tonight?
Everyone. Is that too basic of an answer? Do you need an answer?
I would prefer an answer if we're going to have a conversation.
Here.
Well, the simple answer is everyone. It's do or die, man. You don't step up, you're going home.
Yeah, but there's going to be a hero.
Yeah, who is the hero? That might be a better question, and it's always the same answer for me. It's the guy we've heard a bunch from tonight. It's the guy who had a moment in Game 3 last year when he wasn't hitting as many home runs as he did in 2025. That would be my guy, Sal Frelick. Look, he hasn't been all that good at the plate through 4 games in this series. Got a couple of hits, had the sac fly, but all in all, just meh offensively. Tonight's a night where you need the back end of that order to step up. You need somebody in the back end of that order to step up.
He had the only extra base hit in Game 4. Had to double down the line. Maybe that's a good sign for him to start kind of going forward. And honestly, I feel really good about Drew Pomeranz being one of the first guys out. Because Dominic Cotroneo pointed out, in terms of high-leverage lefties, there aren't a lot left in that bullpen if Pomeranz goes first. And guys like Sal, guys like Bryce Terang, and Terang will have to face Drew Pomeranz tonight because, well, Bryce is hitting second. But they just haven't had the quality at-bats that you were hoping for against lefties at times in this series. So the fact that, and again, maybe Shota comes out there And maybe Shota's the guy that goes 3+ innings, or maybe it's Savale. Who knows? But there's probably going to be more opportunities, I think, for Sal and Bryce Terang to get some at-bats against righties tonight, and that makes me feel good as a Brewers fan, because I feel those two facing righties is going to be great, and none of the right-handed batters do I think they're going to now have bad at-bats against a right-handed pitcher.
Can I manifest something real quick?
That's what we're here for.
I just think it would be a beautiful circle of life moment with some beautiful irony sprinkled in if Andrew Vaughn hit a home run off Aaron Savale tonight.
Yeah, I think that's what everybody would love. And then we'd really have to build that statue for Aaron Savale.
Well, you got to win the World Series first. But then, yes, build the Aaron Savale statue.
Do we see Aaron Savale?
I think
there's a chance.
Here's the thing, man. Everything's on the table.
I think there's a chance.
He was
Joshy,
really good for him in Game 1.
He was. I think there's a chance, but I think they would prefer not to.
Yeah, I was to say, I don't think that's the number they're calling if things are going their way.
I don't think that is the preferred plan for the Cubs. Yeah. I think that is oh crap. Who do we put in now? All right. Well, Aaron, you were good in Game 1. Hopefully you can put out a fire the second straight time.
I'd just like to throw out a statistic for the starters tonight. Drew Pomeranz and Trevor McGill.
The openers.
Yes, that's what I meant. Well, they are the starters.
Technically, but they're openers.
I know what you mean. They are openers. 0 home runs for either of these pitchers against any of the batters they're scheduled to face. Neither of these pitchers has allowed a home run to anybody playing tonight. Tonight, that changes.
Ooh.
Tonight, that changes. Jackson Churrio's leading off.
Leading off with the home run.
Yeah. I'm pretty certain about it. Like, I feel good about a few things. Yeah, I feel really good about that.
Okay, then I hope you stopped at Potawatomi before you made your way here this evening.
Yeah.
If you're fairly certain about any player at any moment hitting a home run,
trust tree for a minute.
You need to put some money down.
Not over your skis once again.
Trust tree for a moment. I love Potawatomi. I'm staying away for a little bit. After Game 3 ended and we did our watch party there, I figured, all right, what would make me feel better? Winning some money. I was chasing and it didn't end well.
I can see that happening.
So
the emotions get the best in the middle of a playoff baseball game.
I'm on a casino timeout right now. And just really in general, a gambling timeout. So if you wanted to do that on my behalf, because I do feel good about that prediction that Jackson Churio is going to hit a leadoff bomb tonight.
I like how he's windowed it down to it has to be the first at bat too.
No, I think he'll hit a home run tonight, but I think it'll be the first at bat. I think it'll be a leadoff against Pomeranz. Yeah, that's what I think.
If we were to give a percentage, what do you say your brain's working at right now?
I know percent I'm giving.
Go ahead.
2.
Oh, that's rude. That's rude. I'm still forming complete sentences, so that's got to be worth something.
Sort of.
What do you mean, sort of? Verbally, I'm fine. Mentally, not so much. I'd give it like a 13%.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can be honest.
We're not that far off in terms of what we think your brain is operating at.
We're all friends here. I'm a mess. I'm a disaster right now. I just ordered a hot dog with pulled pork, jalapenos, and crunchy onions on it. Because I was told I couldn't order a Chicago hot dog, but I wanted a hot dog because it's a ball game.
What's preventing you from just getting a regular old hot dog?
Get
some mustard and relish on it.
I don't think there's any stadium sauce available, and that would feel more on brand. But barbecue is kind of close to stadium sauce, so I felt like that was the route to go. I could have removed the jalapenos, crunchy onions, and pulled pork, but I kept it all on there. Just feels like that'll settle the stomach.
Yeah. Again, your brain is working at about 2%.
Yeah, that's fair.
I really feel that Yeli's going to have a moment. I don't know what that is going to be, but he has been such a big part of this season. And when you factor in, it took him a little bit of time to adjust to being a DH, where he wasn't comfortable being the DH, and he knew that's the role he had to be and dedicated himself. A lot of guys, again, it's hard for them to make that adjustment, and he was able to do it. And he got off to the slow start. He had to make some adjustments with his back too, if we're being honest, right? Like there's just different things you have to do to make sure after the back surgery he's had, and he's been able to stay healthy for the most part. And once he took that month and a half, 2 months to figure out how to operate as a DH with his surgically repaired back, The dude's been just so good. And the fact that he hasn't had an RBI since he hit a home run in Game 7 of the NLCS in 2018, hasn't had a postseason RBI since then. And he obviously hasn't played in every Brewers postseason game since then. Was injured in 19, was injured last year. I think he has a moment in tonight's game where that RBI streak comes to a close.
Yeah, I hope you're right about that. But overall, he's actually been really solid in the series.
He's been really good in the series.
I think he's 5 for 15. He scored a run in each of the first 3 games. Just doesn't have that elusive RBI.
Yeah, he drew 2 of the walks that they had in Game 4. So he still, despite having the strikeout with runners in scoring position and that really one opportunity the Brewers had, it felt like to score runs in Game 4, he's still doing what Christian Yelich does, and that's put together quality at-bat after quality at-bat.
Yeah.
And that's why it'd be great if one of those guys that hasn't had that moment yet steps through, but I feel like it's going to be the horses for the Brewers tonight. Yeah. It's going to be the top part of that lineup.
To your point, you need your stars to star, right? And that's what you need tonight. You need your Churios to come through. You need your Contrerases to come through. You need your Yelich to come through. But ultimately, it's about those other guys. Who steps up?
Oh, this Brewers offense.
Turang is the guy you're just fingers crossed. Tonight's the night he has a big game.
This Brewers offense.
So many this year.
The reason why they wanted to put Yelich in the leadoff spot and did, because when this Brewers offense is cruising, that bottom of the lineup turns it over, and they're on base and they're clogging things up, and you've got an opportunity to drive them in. Now those opportunities go to Turang, they go to Chourio, and that bottom of the lineup's still going to have to play a role in tonight's game, certainly. But I think it's going to be Christian Yelich, who's the big guy who comes through for that crew.
Let's go! Fire up! Fire up!
If you want more Brewers content, make sure you stick around on the ESPN Milwaukee YouTube page. Strouf and Joshi have you for the watch-along. That starts at 7 o'clock. Big shout-out to our friends at Neurospine Center of Wisconsin for presenting this Brewers content. Brewers baseball is coming up next.
When the leaves start to fall and your roof starts to call, fix it in the fall, fix it in the fall. If your shingle's looking rough and your gutter's full of stuff, get it fixed before it's froze, man. It's time to call the pro. We patch